It's the annual battle for the paddle. Anoka at Champlin Park. Steve Thompson, Tim Anderson on a warm October night at Rebels Stadium. And the Tornadoes, they're 0-5, but they have come so close this year. Meanwhile, the Champlin Park Rebels could clinch a winning record this year. They are 4-1 with 2-3 to go in the regular season, counting tonight. And Tim, back to the Tornadoes. They are ready to win.
That's right. They are ready to win, and they need it. They really could use one, and you got two choices when you're in this spot. When you're 0-5, you can lay down and kind of take the results, or you can stand up, make a stand, and fight. And I think tonight, a rivalry game, a battle for the paddle, might be just what the doctor ordered for this Tornado team.
And they have been able to score points, 61 in the loss to Andover, 62-61. And the Rebels have been able to put points on the board. Both teams run first. They
do run first, and Champlin Park's also a little different in the sense that they like to slow the game down. They like to grind it out and play these really, long possessions. They had 2 7-minute possessions last week in their win against Blaine, so they like to sit on it. I think there were only 7 possessions total in that game offensively on offense. So Champlin Park knows what they want to do. They have their identity. We'll see who wins tonight.
It is cooling down rapidly. It should be a great night for football. By the way, Tim had a chance to visit with both head coaches. And first out of the gate, the Tornadoes, Bo Osrick.
Ready to roll here tonight on QCTV. We've got the Anoka Tornadoes against the Champlin Park Rebels in the battle for the paddle. Standing here with head coach Bo Osrick. Coach, I don't know what to say about last week's game. 62-61. It was the wildest game I think I've ever seen in my life. How do you, as a coach, respond, and how do the players respond?
It's one step forward. I mean, it's another step forward. That we keep talking to the kids about how this is a journey in the way that any game you play, which the season is a game, right? And there's a structure set up, and ours is get to week 9 in the best position we can, and we started district. We had 3 games so far, and they ended up what they ended up, and we're a little bit better in maybe our kicking game, making some PATs. Maybe we're 2-1 right now, but we're not. So really, kids have responded awesome. They continue to stick with the process, continue to work, continue to try to get better, and really excited. I think last week we saw some improvement in some areas, and we put all that stuff together with the improvements from the previous week. I think tonight's going to be a fun night.
Your offense has really made some strides here as the season's progressed. I thought Blake Siebens played really well, and Brody Rush looks like he's really starting to find the form that he was showing as a freshman. How do you continue to lean on those guys? What are you hoping to see tonight from them?
Yeah, I mean, they're a young group. As you know, we all the playmakers we had last year, they all graduated, and so we knew it was going to be a process of these guys getting comfortable in the varsity atmosphere, understanding what the Friday nights feel like, and we kind of figured it'd be 4 games with that, and they've kind of started to hit a little bit of a groove. Hopefully that continues. I think it will. I think they've they're trusting what we're telling them as coaches. I think it's a big part of it, and really excited to see more guys step up. Darren Nyanuki, if he can step up and continue to develop. He's been a hamstring all year, so him, kind of breaking out. I'd look tonight. I think Brock Sieben, he's kind of, he's moving into now you're a varsity player. You're not just a freshman kid anymore. I'd look to him to have the big night tonight and kind of, elevate his game. And our O-line continues to gel, continues to play better. Wyatt Buxton really broke out last week, and, stuff that nobody sees, but he was dominating in his blocking performance last week. So really, I think leaning on those guys, and then, defensively, I think, just guys trusting each other. That's the big thing. We just, as long as they try to make their plays, not everybody else's plays, we're going to be, really solid on that side of the ball too.
All right, my friends, stay cool. Enjoy this one tonight. It's a warm one here in October, but good luck to you. Thank you so much. Keenan, Coach, first of all, it's a hot one in October tonight. How do you stay cool?
Just telling the kids to drink a lot of water, and we already got shade, so that should help out. But it's going to be great for the fans. I know that much.
4-1 this season. You guys are off to a great start, even though you graduated a lot of players, much like Anoka did. How has this gelling process come together so quickly for you?
Well, we haven't turned the ball over in 4 games. That's really helped out, and these young guys have really worked hard since they've been in high school. And they've been successful, so they kind of play confidently. But I think we've made some plays down the stretch to win some games.
Stylistically, it feels like you guys are a little bit different this year in the sense that I think you're trying to be more of a physical team, trying to slow games down a little bit, which seems to fly in the face of what a lot of other teams like to do, spreading it out and throwing it a bunch, but it seems to be working for you. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I graduated and grew up in Eden Prairie, and I saw from when I was in high school that good teams run the football, can run the football, and establish the run, and then get the play action going. So I think, you know, if we want to move far into the playoffs, whether it's this year, next year, or the year after that, we're going to have to learn to run the football.
Love it. Coach, it's going to be a fun one tonight. Battle for the paddle. Maybe it could be a warm one, but enjoy it on homecoming tonight. Thanks so much, Coach. And that's Coach Nick Keenan for the Champlin Park Rebels. It's the Tornadoes and the Rebels coming up soon on QCTV.
Great work, Tim, and both coaches. Interviews in the books. Here we go. The battle for the paddle. Champlin Park hosting Anoka tonight here at Rebels Stadium, and as expected, a great crowd. Weather is not really an excuse, and Nick Keenan hit the nail on the head. Great for the fans.
It's great for the fans, and what's interesting, too, is they've played these games early in the season the last few years, Steve, and cramping and conditioning was a real challenge because they played in some really hot days in previous games, and here they are again playing in another hot game, and Anoka's won the conditioning battle the last few times they've played, so I'd be curious to see how that plays itself out tonight, this stage in the season.
One of the other things that really stood out, Champlin Park 4-1, and Nick Keenan hit the nail on the head. Whatever the level, don't turn the ball over, and the Rebels have been great at that.
That's how you become 4-1, Steve, right?
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over in 4 games, which has kind of been the opposite of Anoka. A big thing to watch for the Tornadoes tonight, penalties, right, Steve? You saw it last week. Just so many times they're behind the chains. They've got to keep it clean as far as keeping the penalties to a minimum tonight, and we'll see if they're successful. They're going to get the ball first.
And the Rebels are going to kick it off. What breeze there is will be at the back of the kickoff man, Trace Fitzgerald. It's teed up, middle of the field. We're ready to go. 2 men back deep for the Tornadoes. We're just about underway, and I think we're actually going to get this one started a little bit early here tonight.
No complaints here. We'll take that. Derek Harris, number 6, is the one you want to keep an eye on. If he gets some open field space, he could be fun to watch.
So 2 deep for the Tornadoes, and Fitzgerald's done a really good job on kickoffs, extra points, and field goals this year. And I think they're going to wait till 7 o'clock. They got the word from Toronto or New York. And here we go. Great night for our crew.
Are you trying to say, like, Jim Nance and Tony weren't ready to go? Is that what you're saying?
No, we are ready to go.
We're ready to go. They're
sure.
probably in another booth. They get a way nicer booth than we do, Steve. You understand how that works.
Here's Fitzgerald to the ball, and we are underway in the battle for the paddle. Big leg way over the head, carries into the end zone, and the Tornadoes will settle for the touchback, and they will start first down and 10.
Veteran offensive line, that's one of the things they did bring back as opposed to graduating all those players a year ago, as Coach mentioned in the pregame. But Brent and Klein and Burton and Jorgensen and Kriz, it's a pretty veteran offensive line. Now, they have committed some penalties, but this is the more veteran core part of the group, and hopefully they will gel here a little bit tonight.
Blake Sieben is the quarterback, 79 for 141, 56% completion percentage, 1,120 yards. 8 touchdowns, 4 picks. The running back, Brody Rush, he's had a big year. More on Rush in a moment. He is a lone setback. And we have a slot back to the right, a little movement up front. Rush tries the right side, and he is stacked up short gain, second down on the play. And Brody Rush, 106 carries coming in, 627 yards. 8 touchdowns for the Tornadoes. He's had a big year.
Yeah, it felt like he got all of that last week for the most part. He ran all over the Andover Huskies, but they need him to be just what he was last week, a real threat to be successful.
Sieben throws it left over the intended receiver, way over the head of the intended receiver, Caden Ban. He has 30 catches, 311 yards on the year. Now third down.
Yeah, Ban has been the blanket, the security blanket for Blake Sieben all year long. They always look to him, especially as that slot guy, the guy who sits down in the zone, like you saw right there, but that time Sieben overthrows him. Sets up a 3rd and long, and these have been tough downs for the Tornadoes this year, but they've been in them a lot. But being back this far, you kind of make yourself a bit predictable here.
2 left, 2 right. Rush is the running back. We'll see Moses Boyce from time to time. Sieben back, throws left, caught on the slant. That's Lackinen for a first down. He went up, brought it down. First down at the 33-yard line. Gain of 12. First down, Tornadoes.
Boy, that's a fantastic catch by Brody Lackinen, making something out of nothing there. Wasn't a great throw. This is over the head of Brody Lackinen, but he's able to jump and get it at the high point.
And here is Rush, left side, almost broke through, still got it over the 40 to maybe the 41-yard line. Good solid gain on first down. Looks like they're going to even mark him forward to the 42, so it sets up second down and short. Tornadoes right to the line.
Yeah, you see they're going to work quickly. This is kind of the opposite of Champlin Park.
Here's Sieben. He's going to tuck it under his arm, run along the line of scrimmage, and then scamper out of bounds at the 42. No gain on the play. It'll be third down.
Yeah, good coverage by Champlin Park that time. A bit of a busted play. Clearly, I think Sieben wanted to go looking maybe for Ban coming over the middle, but the coverage was there for the Rebels. Nice job. As you take another look, Ban tried to cut right there, but look at the linebacker sit back on that. That was a really solid play by Charles Ogeto.
So now it is third down. He actually lost a yard back to the 41-yard line. Third down and 2.
Keep your eye on Lackinen coming here, bottom of the screen. If he can get single coverage against a smaller corner, I wonder if they might throw something up to him here.
And they're going to hand it off. Rush deck back at the 40-yard line. Good penetration by the Rebels. And decision time now on fourth and short. Does Bo Osric go for it, or do they kick the ball away?
I think with the defense being the way it is, I think you almost have to punt. But that's not Bo's style. Bo also understands that his best defense might be a good offense. And also maybe thinks that with Champlin Park, I think, they're going to make the move. They wanted to assess the look, and now they will punt.
Kellen Brewer is going to come on and kick it away, and we'll see two players go back deep, Landon Olsen-Gray and Mario Robinson. Landon Olsen-Gray near his side wearing number 2. Mario Robinson far side wearing number 26. Now, Bo Osric's been known to run a trick play on special teams, so no guarantee he kicks it, and he does indeed kick it away. A low line drive, and it is caught there. And a good return over the 40 to the 43-yard line. That's Landon Olsen-Gray, took it on the near side. And the Rebels are going to have it in outstanding field position.
Tornado special teams is going to be something we watch all night tonight, Steve. I thought they were burnt last week. It was not a solid effort from them. That was a decent coverage that time on not a great punt, but they were able to recover and keep the gain to a minimum. Only about a net of 15 yards, though, gives the quarterback, Miles Felton, some room to work with.
And you bring up Miles Felton. He has had a good year on the ground, decent year throwing the ball, but it's Preston Nelson, his running back, who's had the monster year with 8 touchdowns. Nelson right up, pushes 50, 45, churning inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Nelson coming in 101 carries, 753 yards, 7.5 a carry, 8 touchdowns, more importantly,
One
no
thing you're going to
fumbles.
see is they're going to love to pull guards, and they're going to want to run off the guards. So Dylan McNamara and Jeremiah Finlayson are going to be the guys to keep an eye on tonight. But a great block downfield by Jaden Oligmuller to really set that up.
So it is a gain of 16, first down Rebels at the 40-yard line, and the Tornadoes. Rebels in their home navy, Tornadoes in the road white. And Felton takes the snap. He's going to run the option. Nelson with room, 35-30 along the sideline. Bounced out of bounds at the 24-yard line. That's another 16-yard gain, another first down for the Rebels.
Not a great tackle there on the outside by Jason Shoppy. He's got to push the quarterback out. He just tried to shoulder pad him out of bounds, but Felton runs strong and he runs upright, and you're not gonna move him that easy. You got to be physical and knock him out of bounds. I think he was able to pick up 4 or 5 extra on that one.
So the Rebels send one right, one left. Nelson the lone setback. Felton, he's going to keep it all the way. Bounce to the outside at the 25. He may have done the Tornadoes a favor there by going to the outside.
Yeah, these design quarterback runs have been very effective, not just for Champlin Park, but they've been very effective for anybody against Anoka. But this time, you're right. The block is there, but he bounces it out into the coverage because the running back, Preston Nelson, blocks the Tornadoes to the outside. And when he does, it just sets up an easy tackle.
Max Sweet got there first, got a little help by Lucas. And now it is second down and 7 yards to go. Ball at the 21-yard line. Felton with Nelson in the backfield. Player goes in motion to the left. And they're going to play action. Felton rolls out lefty, lobs it into the end zone. Back of the end zone. And we're going to get a flag
Yeah,
in the back of the end zone.
The issue was he didn't turn around to face the ball. He face guarded the wide receiver, and he hits the wide receiver as he's catching it. I don't know if he's going to make that catch or not and stay in bounds, but clearly there was a hit, and he never turned back for the ball.
Intended receiver looked like Fitzgerald on the play, and they're going to sort it out. We'll get the call here.
That might have been illegal formation. That's a late call for illegal formation. Oh, there it is. Okay.
The old do-over.
The old do-over,
Yeah.
which I think if you're Anoka, you'll take this do-over, to be honest. This is kind of what Champlin Park likes to do, a little option here with the quarterback in this shotgun. That nice little fake. They could have ran that option just as easy, but instead Felton takes the shot downfield. And, yeah, it's shoppy. And you see how he never turns around for the ball? He just runs over the wide receiver that time.
Intended receiver Landon Olson-Gray, who's the kick return man. And now it's Nelson to the left of Felton. Player goes in motion from right to left. And they're going to give it to Nelson. Quick hitter right up the middle, and he gets a good surge down near the 16-yard line. It'll set up third down. He is such a hard runner. He's got good quickness, very good breakaway speed. He's had some long runs for touchdowns, but he is not easily brought down.
And when you have the weapon of the quarterback who can run and the running back who can run, you become really hard to deal with. Tornadoes have to read their keys really well here. That time Nelson was able to get a nice surge, as you mentioned, gets it third and short.
Third down and 3 for the Rebels. Far hash. Fitzgerald split way out to the left. And Felton 5 yards deep in the pistol. Nelson to his right. He's going to take the handoff, dart right back into the middle. Should have enough for a first down as he gets it to the 13-yard line.
And this is exactly what Champlin Park likes to do. Grind it out. They don't mind 3 plays for a first down. They do not mind long possessions and shortening the game.
Cooper, McNamara, Yang, Fenlison, Tucker, the O-line, Isaac Axness, who's had a big year, 3 touchdown grabs at the tight end spot. The wing, Jaden Oligmuller. And the Rebels have another first down on this opening drive, their third first down. The drive started at the 45-yard line about 2.5 minutes ago. Felton's going to run left side, pitch it out. Nelson, he breaks a tackle inside the 10, steps out at about the 6 or the 7-yard line. Not near enough for a first down. It'll set up second down and short.
Boy, Nelson just runs stronger and harder and more physical than the Tornadoes defense right now. Devin Lucas was in a good spot to make the tackle, and he just brushed him off. Finally had to get some help there at the end just to complete that play, and Lucas is really a sure tackler most of the time.
He gets it to the 6, gain of 7 on the play. They can get a first and goal at the 4. Second down, a couple to go. Felton waiting for that snap. And Felton takes it right up the gut. He was stacked up almost immediately. Good job by that D-line of the Tornadoes. They stood him up.
Yeah, it didn't sell the fake really that time. It looked like he kind of just half-hearted that one to Nelson, but it looked all the way like he was going to keep the ball, just the way he took off, and even a little stumble right there allowed him to get wrapped up. Good job on the play by 75, Ace Oyewole coming in to make the play, which, of course, makes us want to chant, Oye, Oye, Oyewole. He likes it when I say that.
So he has it at the 5, third down and short. Rebels on their opening drive of quarter number 1. Felton again runs the option. Nelson has room, dives into the end zone, touchdown. He got hit about a yard out, but had plenty of forward momentum. And Preston Nelson has his 9th touchdown of the year, and the Rebels the early lead.
That's Devin Lucas once again coming down to try to make the hit low, and Nelson this time just decides to flip over the top of him and get into the end zone. Take a look at this again, reading the option nicely. Lucas has it scouted, but a beautiful play by Nelson to jump over the low tackle attempt from Lucas.
And just plenty of forward momentum. He got hit from behind. Now Fitzgerald on to try the extra point. He has been good all year. And that has to do with the snap, the spot, and then, of course, Fitzgerald the leg. Rebels up 6-0, snap, spot, kick.
No good.
Missed it wide right. I jinxed
You
him.
jinxed him. See, we should have talked about that beforehand, Steve. We tried to make that clear. You can't do that. But if you really want to see just how Champlin Park's 4-1 this year, just watch that drive. You don't have to do it with dangerous passes or anything. They just run the ball. They're physical. They run option. They do some weak side stuff. As you can see, that one just missed wide. Yeah, that was very uncharacteristic for Fitzgerald, but that's what Champlin Park does. Nelson, they work the quarterback, Felton. They do some option. They run weak side. They work the strong side. They get blocks from the wing. They take time of possession. That's what Champlin Park does.
So they go 8 plays, 56 yards, and that took almost 4 minutes, just shy of 4 minutes. And it was capped off by the Preston Nelson 5-yard touchdown run as he dives into the end zone. Fitzgerald to kick it off, and now the Tornadoes are going to get another crack at it. They had a first down on their opening drive. It stalled. They kicked it away, and let's see what they can do in a hole now. And, of course, a week ago, that wild 1-point loss, 123 points scored in the game. Fitzgerald to the ball. Another line drive to the near sideline. It goes out of bounds and a break for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, so Fitzgerald, who's been just a steady Eddie all season long, misses an extra point and then kicks one out of bounds, and that's going to give good field position to the Tornadoes to start their second drive of the night. And again, Tornadoes have been in this spot. Scoring points has not been the problem, Steve. They have been able to move the football. They've been able to get chances and score. I wouldn't be surprised if they respond right here with another good drive.
Kamara, Schornstein, Finley, Ogunti up front, Oghetto, Leonhardt, Torkey at the linebackers, safeties, Quia, Keenan, Robinson, and Lukes for the Rebels in blue. And once again, 35-yard line. Here come the Tornadoes. And once again, Blake Sieben, the quarterback. He's had a nice year. He can run it a little bit as well. And it's Brody Rush out there again.
Yeah, that's been the one wrinkle that's different for Anoka is they have a quarterback who will run. Padani was not much of a runner for them.
And they'll try the outside with Rush. He got hit almost immediately, driven out of bounds at the 36. They'll maybe give him the 37-yard line, but outstanding pursuit defensively there. Komara was there. They did a really nice job reading and reacting on that play.
Yeah, they got to get to the second level if they're the Tornadoes, and Kamara's not that. Kamara's right on the edge, and he read that nicely, was able to wrap up Rush and not let him turn the corner.
Second down and 9, 36-yard line. Tornadoes with the ball 0-5, but they've come oh so close. Sieben swings it out to the left. It is caught, tackle broken, 40, out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Maybe a little more in a first down.
That's Brock Sieben, the young freshman right there, and that was somebody Coach talked about in the pregame right there, Steve. Brock Sieben, young freshman, small guy, not super big, just 5'8", but 145, he's quick.
So he got it off to the 44-yard line. It'll be third down and 1. They need the 45. Of course, after the kick out of bounds. And here's Rush, left side, has the room and steps out right at midfield. That should be an easy gain of 6 and a Tornado first down.
And when you cross the 50, that's when Coach Bo starts thinking, I got 4 downs to play with, right? So that's kind of the thought process that goes into it. So I think now that they're there, it opens up some different things in the playbook for Sieben and the Tornadoes.
In the slot is Ban.
They bring Nyanyuki inside, the junior playing tonight. He's a fast kid.
And they hit Ban, and that was just, he was in the slot, and he just got downfield and kind of ducked in, found a hole in the defense, and gets a nice gain down to the Rebel 43-yard line, gain of 7.
Caden Ban makes all those greasy catches in the slot. He knows he's going to take a hit, but he's able to get in there and make a lot of plays.
And this is Moses Boyce. Boyce up the gut, not enough for a first down, got hit almost immediately as he took that. Good run support there by the Champlin Park Rebels, and Leonhardt made the hit. It'll be third down.
Boyce had a couple big game-breaking runs last week against Andover, and we've been kind of waiting for that on the Anoka side because he is fast, and he can run hard. He had that tough fumble against Forest Lake, but he's been a nice compliment to Brody Rush.
At 25 carries, 159 yards, 3 TDs coming in, 2 left, throwing all the way. Another nice route. just kind of a quick slant down to the 34-yard line and a catch. Nice pitch and catch. And the Tornadoes move the sticks. Ban again.
You see that confidence that Sieben has that Ban's going to run the route and sit down in the zone, and that's exactly what he did. He just went to the soft spot and sat down and said, throw it right here, and it was good anticipation by Sieben.
And this is a quarterback keeper. Look out! Big run by Sieben. Nice fake to Boyce. And then he broke it off the right side, cut it back into the middle. And the Tornadoes in hurry-up mode, they're going to have a first down right at the 15-yard line.
Yeah, that's the difference, right? And last year, Padani wasn't one of those guys, but Sieben has that threat.
And he's going to try and keep it again, and he maybe got a yard before he was driven back by the Champlin Park Rebels. They read that beautifully.
Yeah, that was
Gunty was there.
Yeah, that was a read option by Anoka. They tried to look and see what they had for rush, and quarterback didn't see anything, so Sieben keeps it himself. Ends up not getting a whole lot there, just a yard.
Second down, 9 yards to go, but Sieben, a nice gain on the play before of 19, and the Tornadoes driving. They're down 6-0. And this one's setting up to be up and down the field they go. Under 3 to go here in the third. Sieben sets back, goes far corner of the end zone. Is it in bounds? It is! And a touchdown. That's Lackinen, and the game is tied.
You know, we've been wondering when they would do more of that. Lackinen is the one really big target for the Tornadoes. He's 6'3", he's tall, he's lanky, he's got a great vert, he plays basketball. You got to give him more chances one-on-one against smaller corners. That time they do a little fade route, and Lackinen runs this perfectly. And this is a great ball by Sieben, one of the better ones he's thrown to Lackinen this year, and Lackinen just runs that route, stays in bounds, easy TD. Nice job by the Tornadoes.
His fourth of the year, and through the air for the quarterback Sieben, 9th passing touchdown. He's had 4 picks coming in, and now the extra point try.
Lefty kicker this time. That's interesting.
Youngquist, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Snap, spot, kick, and the Tornadoes have the lead. So they answer with a touchdown. They tack on the extra point with 2:40 to go here in the first. Anoka leads Champlin Park 7-6 in the battle for the paddle.
They've had injuries with kickers all season. Gus Moran's been battling a hamstring all year. They've had a tough time just kind of settling that kicker spot with Noah Youngquist. They're hoping maybe they've got something that they like. 7-6, that's a good start there.
9 plays, 65-yard touchdown drive for the Tornadoes. And here's a look at the standings. Centennial and Champlin Park, along with Andover on top. And then you got Osseo, Blaine, and then Rogers and Anoka. And that 0-5 is misleading. You could make the case they could be 3-2, certainly 2-3.
And that's the thing. You see there's a lot of parity in this because Rogers has a win over Blaine. Blaine's got wins over some of these teams as well. Champlin Park's beaten Andover. It just feels like these teams can hang with each other. And every one of these games has usually been kind of a fight all year.
No, it looks like Moran's bringing the tee. No.
Yeah, Moran looks like he'll kick off.
Yeah, so Moran's going to kick off. Youngquist tried and made the extra point a moment ago to give the Tornadoes a 7-6 lead. And so far, a good solid first quarter. It's been relatively clean. No turnovers.
And there's a chance we could be home by 10:30 tonight, Steve. That's positive for us old guys.
Yeah, that Andover Anoka game a week ago went late. I was glad I was able to shut off the stream and go to bed. And here come the Tornadoes right up, or the Rebels right up the middle of the field, 20, maybe 24-yard line. And on the return there for Champlin Park is Dukley. And Dukley gets it out to the 24-yard line, and that's where Champlin Park, on their opening drive, they went 8 plays, 56 yards, a good tidy drive, a lot of Preston Nelson capped off by a 5-yard touchdown run, and we'll see if they can answer.
Already a good answer for Anoka. 2 special teams plays for them, and their coverage has been much, much better than anything you saw last week. I thought they gave up some big plays in the kick game.
There's Felton Nelson to his right. They're going to swing it out to the left, or the right. It is caught. Fitzgerald, short gain on the play. Good defensive play over there by the Anoka Tornadoes. That was Dvorak making the hit almost immediately, so that quick out is stopped after a short gain.
And that's kind of how the Rebels roll in the passing game. You don't see them take a ton of deep shots down the field, but they like working these little short routes, these little dink and dunk plays, because it keeps the defense honest, and it's like an extension of their run game. They're a little safer, and we'll kind of keep an eye on that. Tornado had to limp off the field there. I didn't get a chance to see the number. There he is right there. Maybe number 3, that's Dre Ellis, one of the corners.
Yeah, and I think for the Rebels this year, look at Miles Felton, 33 of 73, 540 yards, 4 touchdowns, a pick. Isaac Axness, a big chunk of that, 13 catches, 206 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He has been a weapon for Champlin Park, and he's made some big plays for the Rebels so far this year.
And when the tight end's the leading receiver, that does usually tell you a little something about what they like to do. Fumble.
I got a ball on the ground at the 30-yard line, and the Rebels may have got a huge break on that one as they're able to cover up the football there. And picking it up for Champlin Park is Landon Olson-Gray. And they'll fumble it forward to the 30-yard line where it's 3rd down and 5 yards. Big opportunity for the Tornadoes here.
They brought Landon Olson-Gray to get that handoff, and it just looked like it wasn't clean. The quarterback just kind of threw it at him, and didn't look like Landon was quite ready to take that handoff, and they're lucky to get back on it with some positive gain, because you're right, this is still 3rd and fairly manageable.
So here is Felton waiting for the snap. Felton's going to go back. Lefty throws. It is caught. 1st down. Nice pitch and catch out to the 38-yard line. And I think that was Landon Olson-Gray again.
Yeah, it was. And they brought Devin Lucas up to play press man coverage because I think they knew that it was going to be a quick out like this. This is one of those signature plays for the Rebels, running that slant on 3rd and short. Lucas knew it was coming, but yet Landon Olson-Gray was able to win the inside battle and get position on Lucas, and he was able to make the catch.
So Preston Nelson in the backfield. He hasn't handled the ball yet here on the second drive of the game. That raised a few eyebrows. Another play action. Fitzgerald, the catch, sidesteps would-be tackler and goes down out at the 41-yard line. Nice recovery there by the Tornadoes. Coming over to make the play is Keaton Maros, I believe. Maros made the hit, and a short gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, part of that was Olson-Gray didn't get the nice block on Lucas that he needed to get. Lucas was able to shed him and at least get a piece of the runner that time in Fitzgerald, and that allowed the tackler, Maros, to come over and finish the play off.
So no handoffs to Nelson as of yet. We'll see if that trend continues. No, it ends right now, and he goes right up the gut. And he gets smoked forward to about the 45, maybe the 46-yard line. He was stopped and then got shoved from behind.
It's almost like Axness gave him like a tush push, but except more violently. Let's see if we can look at this.
He just shoots out of there. It looked like he was going to get wrapped up, and a tornado hit him, but tackled him all the way forward out to the 46-yard line.
You notice the pulling guards, though, again? That time Dylan McNamara came, and that's what freed up the running zone, and that's going to end the quarter.
And we're going to come back with 3rd down and 2 for the Rebels. Near midfield, and Anoka leads Champlin Park 7-6, 1 quarter in the books. Here in the battle for the paddle from Rebel Stadium here on QCTV. Number 2 coming up, and let's take a look. There's Nelson, big run up the middle.
Yeah, Nelson was good on that first drive, wasn't he, Steve?
And then here's his touchdown run from 5 yards out, somersaulting into the end zone, and then the Tornadoes would answer right back.
Yeah, Sieben was big on that touchdown drive as we're back to live action, picking up that first down where the Rebels, there's the touchdown to Brody Lackinen.
Nice throw, nice catch. Extra point is good. That is the difference. 7-6 early in the quarter. Rebels run it over midfield to the 49-yard line of the Anoka Tornadoes, and it is a first down.
That time getting Nelson back involved, and you're right, Steve. They didn't go to him a ton in the first part of this drive, but now they've fed it to him a couple times in a row.
And they're going to give it to Nelson again. Not much doing. Good job by the Tornadoes stacking him up. And there were a lot of white shirts around that football in there, and really a nice job down low. Mason Brent, and he's a huge part on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Mason Brent gets a lot of time. Cole Borchers came up and made a play right there as well. Borchers, a linebacker, kind of a smaller one, but he's a junior. Trey's younger brother. They look alike. There's a look at Coach Bo going with the all-black look tonight. Normally he likes to wear the white shirt and be different. This must be a special occasion. Very fashionable.
Second down, 10 yards to go. Rebels at the Anoka 49-yard line. Rolling out, Felton, the left-hander. Tough throw, and overshoots the intended receiver at the 37-yard line. And he tried to get it down there to Dukley, but it's wide of the mark. It'll be third down.
You know, and I never love that when you run the quarterback across his body on the throwing route, especially when he doesn't pass it all the time, because it's really hard to be accurate in those situations. I thought it was a decent throw, but I think you could tell his footwork's way off when he does that kind of route.
Yeah. Osa Dukley couldn't come up with it. He is just a sophomore wide receiver, 6 foot, 175 pounds. Felton with Nelson to his right. Third down and long. We'll call it 3rd and 9 at the 48-yard line.
Oh.
Nelson on the draw with room. Look out. 30, 20, up the middle. 10, touchdown, Rebels.
That was some pretty play design right there by Coach Nick Keenan and the staff. Look at how long Felton hangs onto the ball to the very last second before he decides to run this little crossbuck pattern with Nelson. Watch this, zip it back the other way, a little misdirection run, little counter, and it got the Tornadoes completely fooled. They did not see that coming. Nelson has nothing but air and opportunity in front of him on that play. Just a beautiful play by the Champlin Park Rebels.
Fitzgerald on for the extra point. They're going to go for 2. Fitzgerald throwing out of it into the end zone, incomplete. So the 2-point try fails. The Tornadoes hold there, but the Rebels grab the 12-7 lead. And that's Preston Nelson to a T. You give him a seam, he's gone.
That was, he's lightning, isn't he? Super fast. Brilliant little misdirection play, though, and that is, again, something you got to see in the keys, right? You see that they sell that quarterback run, and then I thought the Tornadoes were ready for that, but clearly weren't ready for the other. We got a penalty here late on the Tornadoes.
Yeah, it looks like Champlin Park's going to get another shot at it.
Yeah, and these are the kinds of things that have just been killing Anoka all season long, are these penalties that extend drives and allow teams to go for 2, and this stuff just drives you nuts.
So they go from the 3 down to the 1.5, and they're going to bring the offense out, including Nelson, but you know, here's Anoka in a spot where they feel like, hey, 3rd down and long, we got the ball at midfield, an opportunity for a stop, and then Nelson breaks it right up the middle and then splits the defense late in that run to take it into the end zone.
Yeah, gashed on big plays and now special teams errors.
There's Felton. He's going to keep it himself and go into the end zone for the 2. So the Tornado penalty comes back to haunt. And now the Rebels extend their lead to 14-7 early in the quarter number 2.
There's a look at the end of the touchdown run, and you could just see there's just no room there to catch. Nobody had an angle or anything. Nelson was right there. Just a beautiful play and a beautiful design by Champlin Park. And again, it's been the story of the season for the Tornadoes. They get gashed in a play defensively. They make a special teams error, and next thing you know, it's an 8-point possession for Champlin Park.
And we've seen it a number of times. We've had Champlin Park games on. Once Nelson has that seam, there's just really no time because he's got that power running ability. He's got the quickness. But then, as we saw, the breakaway speed, no one's going to run him down.
Yeah, it's nice when you have a weapon like that. You know, there's backs that do different things. There are bruising backs, there are scat backs, but when you get a guy who can do all of those things, who can do the power stuff, the greasy stuff, and then get out into the open field, man, oh man, what a weapon that is. Tornadoes had that with Welch a year ago, guys who could just be physical and run, but they don't come around very often. They're kind of unicorns.
By the way, 10th touchdown, and Braylon Yekinen is one of the guys back deep near side of the field for the Tornadoes. Fitzgerald puts it on the ground, a wobbler, bobbled and controlled. It does go out of bounds. Tornadoes are going to hang on. They're going to get it at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, no different than kicking it out of bounds, but that's a very fortuitous bounce, I would say the least there for Cole Borchers.
Yeah, Chris Nikwacha almost came up with that ball, and now the Tornadoes, and they were able to do it a ton a week ago at Andover and answer, and now we'll see if they can answer. They already did it once in the game, and now they're down by 7.
Yeah, I think they've proven in the first couple of drives that they can move the football on this Rebels defense, and so I don't think you panic here. You don't change anything. You're in the exact same spot you were in midway through the first quarter. Just got to run your stuff offensively, but again, this is a little bit not what Champlin Park wants. I mean, this is already third possession for Anoka. We're in the second quarter very, very early. Champlin Park only ran 7 possessions at all game last week against Blaine.
And on a hot night, it is still warm. Sun is down, but it is still a warm one. And the handoff. This is Rush, and he is stacked up. Short gain on the play. Rush was able to kind of fall forward, and that's one of the things we've seen him do this year. It's almost impossible to keep him from gaining a yard or 2.
Yeah, he's a big physical kid. He had the knee injury that really took him out most of last season. Wasn't the factor. And, of course, when you have Zach Welch, it's hard to get in. But they really were looking at him this year and thinking big things. And so far, he's been pretty good.
Gain 4, second down and 6. Play action, Sieben under pressure. He's going to get sacked back at the 25-yard line. All over a Gunty. Boy, the Rebels just in on him. It looked like they were initially setting up a screen, but no chance for Sieben.
Yeah, they bring pressure, and on the edge, this was just an easy win for a Gunty as he just steamrolls past the offensive lineman on the corner, Andrew Kriz. Kriz just didn't have a chance to stop that speed, and a Gunty got to the edge.
So they're going to mark it back at the 26-yard line. First down stick, almost all the way out to the 44-yard line. They're down in 18. Sieben rolling out, buying time. Throws it over midfield. Jump ball, it's caught! It is caught. What a spectacular throw and catch by the Tornadoes. Brock Sieben, older brother to younger brother, and a huge play for the Tornadoes.
That's the old backyard go long throw, right? Wasn't that?
Right.
I mean, that's just two guys who've thrown a lot of footballs to each other and just knowing where they're going to be. Heaves up a prayer and it gets answered. Nicely done by the young freshman. Again, winning the high point.
Run on first down, not much. Rebels standing up, and that's Rush. And we'll call it a gain of 1 on the play. So he gets it all the way down to the 33-yard line.
Do you think it's kind of interesting that Brody Rush ran the ball and then they immediately played Rush in the overhead music? It's kind of, that's interesting.
That is ironic.
That's it's almost eerie.
By the way, a gain of 41 on that last play is Sieben to Sieben. Sieben, the keeper, he has room, flags fly. That's going to be a hold that's coming back.
Hold coming back. They're running on that same side of Andrew Kriz. And also, they might have had a pulling guard right there as well. They run on Kriz and Jorgensen's side. I wonder who they'll get.
Yeah, and it's one of those when it comes that quick after a big run, and Sieben the keeper all the way, and he has had success on that first touchdown drive. And you'll see
it's right there. Yep, 69. They catch Mark Klein as he tries to pull behind the play, and no reason to hold right there. Sieben had already won the battle of the corner.
So that takes it all the way back to the 42-yard line. First down at the 23. Second down and 19.
It's just the stuff that the Tornadoes have been dealing with all season. Behind the chains, it feels like all year long. They've been able to overcome a lot of it, but it drives you crazy.
Man goes in motion. Now another man in motion to the near side. Sieben goes back. They do set up the screen. Nobody home, and a flag flies. And this might be a roughing the passer.
I think this is. Yeah, Gunty once again came in like he was shot out of a cannon.
I don't think Champlin Park's all that thrilled about it, but
I don't think so.
I don't think their opinion matters in the proceeding. But Sieben tried to set up the screen that time, but there's just nobody home.
Well, that speed, that outside.
Number 2 of the night.
That is so, I never see the flag on the illegal shift. I only see the flag on the roughing the passer, so I don't get it.
Yeah, and Gunty comes in and way up high. Yeah, he hit him in the face mask. I mean, you can't do that. So the replay showed that. I didn't see the illegal shift.
I don't see the illegal shift, and I don't get it. Again, there's plenty of openings at the MSHSL for referees, so I'm not going to say nothing, not questioning anything. It's just a couple times to see that happen, kind of odd. Coach Bo wants to talk it over, I think.
Yeah, we're going to get a timeout here. 8:26 to go, quarter number 2. It is officially second down and 19 from the 42-yard line. But a huge play, Sieben to really bail them out. They were in trouble because they didn't want to give the ball back to the Rebels in that spot, and it was looking that way.
Yeah, you want to really get a score here if you're Anoka and keep this thing close. You don't want to be chasing 2 touchdowns to Champlin Park with the way they do things.
Great crowd on hand in the battle for the paddle.
We'll see if we can see this illegal shift. Now, they bring one guy. Now, did he set? Yeah, he sets here. He didn't set before the next guy came in motion.
Yeah,
there's the flag moving for it right there. So that's the call, and that's a good call. Now that I see that from that range, that's it. Ban didn't set himself before Sieben came. Yep. Yes.
Yep, and I didn't see that initially, but he was still
kind of setting himself. Yep, exactly. So that's just a little thing there. Caden Ban, veteran receiver, I think he knows better. He's got to set there. And Sieben's the young freshman receiver. He's just waiting for a cue, and I think he thought he got the cue to go right there.
Well, and for a Gunty, he was in there and made the play, and there was really no reason to hit the quarterback Sieben up high like that.
The note you can say, though, on a Gunty is the Tornadoes might need to have more than one guy on him because it looks like he's winning whatever battle he wants on the outside against the tackles of the Tornadoes. So they might want to consider bringing Wyatt Buxton and chipping against him, trying to slow that down a little bit.
Great view of the crowd here.
Homecoming.
Home of the Rebels. The battle for the paddle, homecoming, huge crowd, tailgate going on. And to the southeast, we've got three-quarter moon, maybe?
Yeah,
Two-thirds.
Look at that.
I'm not very good at fractions.
I'm not good at that either. I failed math many times, as you know. Stephen, you and I talk about this because we do some remedial math together.
Here we go, Sieben with the running back rush. They're going to roll to the right. Sieben throws down the sideline.
Well, that's caught.
That did get caught. Was he in bounds? If it is, it's Lackinen with another circus catch. And they're going to call it a catch.
Yeah.
What a throw. What a catch by Lackinen on the tightrope. How about that?
That window to throw it into was something crazy, but Lackinen does a great job of concentrating through the defensive back to make that play. Great job there by the Tornadoes.
Rush trying to get to the outside. He's going to get hauled down at the 19-yard line. Good pursuit over there by the Champlin Park Rebels, and making that play, Quia, one of the linebackers and a junior. It'll set up second down.
Did you see the adjustment the Tornadoes made, though, on those last 2 plays, how they're running away from a Gunty right there? Do you see how they ran? They got Sieben rolling out of the pocket away from Willagunty.
So Sieben with rush. Ball at the 19-yard line. First down. Stick at the 13. Rush off the right side. Has room. The first down, maybe a little more. But I think they're going to give him the stick.
Yeah, he started
at 6 and got it.
Nice little shift. That's the thing you look for in your running back. Can they reverse position in the middle? He was running it just kind of over the kind of the left-hand side of the guard and then switched back. Like that. Little counter.
Rush again. Breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. Still on his feet inside the 10 to maybe the 8-yard line. So the Tornadoes, some big pass plays on this drive. One to Sieben, and then one to Lackinen. That was just an absolutely spectacular catch. They can get a first and goal. Nice fake, Sieben into the end zone. Touchdown. Beautiful ball fake in the middle. He breaks to the outside, takes it into the end zone, and we're an extra point away from a tie game.
There's an example of the read option working for you. The last play, I thought they maybe made the wrong call when they handed off. This time, Sieben keeps it. He reads it perfectly. Says, nope, I'm pulling this one back. That's going to blow up. I got all this room over here. Really great play. Great read by Blake Sieben. Tornadoes get a chance to tie the game here with the extra point.
Tornadoes answer again. Second time in the game, they go down. They come right back, get the touchdown. And the kicker, Youngquist, right down the middle. And we are tied at 14, 7:08 to go in quarter number 2. And another fine and a couple of huge plays. The Lackinen catch along the sidelines about as good as you're going to see.
I like the idea that they're trying to find Lackinen down the field. It's been one of those things that I've been thinking all season as I've been watching these games is like, man, we get single coverage with Lackinen against the smaller corner. You know, we got to take 2 or 3 shots a game to the Tornadoes, I think, to Brody Lackinen. And tonight you're seeing that. You're seeing Sieben see that matchup himself and say, yeah, we're going to make that throw as you get a look at the 6A ranking, Steve. And it's a lot of the usual suspects, but it's been a really interesting year so far.
Yeah, Maple Grove, Minnetonka, Forest Lake having a fine year in the Suburban East, and Rosemount, Lakeville South, and Shakopee, Centennial, Eden Prairie, Champlin Park, and Andover. So the Metro North representation in that poll, and of course, Eden Prairie always gets a lot of respect, and rightfully so, for what they've done over the years. The marquee program in big school football for a long time.
And that's what's got to keep you in it if you're Anoka. You've come within an eyelash of beating 2 of those teams within Andover and Forest Lake.
Moran to kick. 2 players back deep for Champlin Park. And Moran to the ball. And a nice kick taken at the 3-yard line. And the Rebels a little running room. 30, 35. Dukley over midfield, finally run out of bounds at the Tornado 41-yard line. Musa Dukley, the sophomore, with a huge return, and now the Rebels with 6:56 to go in the quarter. They'll try and grab the lead back.
Again, just getting gashed on special teams. It happened a ton the last week. It's happened all season, and here it is again. This time Devin Lucas caught flat-footed, and now there's bad pursuit angles. Everybody's a little off, and finally Gus Moran has to come up and knock Dukley out of bounds, but it's just it's kind of been par for the course for this special teams for the Tornadoes. They have given up a lot of big plays on kickoffs to the point where I'm almost ready to just say kick it out of bounds, let them start to 35 every time.
56-yard return for Dukley. And now they're in business. Felton play action right over the middle. Wide open at the 20. The 10. Inside the 5-yard line was Jaden Oligmuller. Great call. Wide open in the Anoka linebacker core, and he rumbles into a 1st and goal situation.
Yeah, that's what the Rebels don't pass it a million times a game, but when they do, it's like that. They use the run to set up play action, and when they get that chance, they hit it usually downfield for a big play. Again, not a long pass. They didn't throw that 30 yards down the field, but it ends up being a big play in the passing game because they've set it up on the ground.
Gain of 41, 1st and goal. Nelson to the right of Felton. Player goes in motion. Felton calls his number. He'll pull his way into the end zone for a touchdown. And Champlin Park, 2 plays, 44 yards. They get the lead back, 20-14 with 6:27 to go in quarter number 2. Buckle up. I think they're going to go up and down the field all night.
I was going to say, did you make sure your voice was okay this week, Steve? I mean, this is a lot of touchdowns you've been calling the last couple of weeks, and another easy drive given up against the special teams and the defense of this Tornado team. And again, it's tough to play defense when you have to defend short fields. And this is something that's just has been an Achilles heel this year for the Tornadoes. No question about it.
Snap, spot, and kick. That is hammered through by Fitzgerald. Off the hold there by Cash Miller, the backup quarterback. And Champlin Park answers right back. That didn't take much time. And by my count, 41 seconds.
Yeah, the whole slowing the game down thing is not in the cards tonight for Champlin Park. As again, we're just back to playing track meet football here. It feels like a 7-on-7. Both teams finding a way to move the ball through the air and on the ground. And there you get a look at your 3-quarter moon that you talked about.
Yeah, I don't know. We may get arguments.
Can we get a look at the Sea of Tranquility up there?
Might be 5/8.
5/8, maybe 7/16. No, it's a little more than that. Maybe it's more than half, right? Yeah. Again, my fractions I did terrible, Steve. You got to understand. There's a reason why I teach English and not math. There's a reason.
And there's a reason that I do this.
That's fair.
Instead of math. 21-14.
The good news is
Park.
We can count by
tonight.
7. That's the good news. We can count by 7, and that's what's going to help us stay in this game.
Fun game tonight. The band will perform at halftime. Great weather for the spectators. Here in early October, it can be downright chilly. And the players holding up well, and I think the fans, a lot of T-shirts and shorts for the game tonight, really enjoying it. Fitzgerald to the ball, high end-over-end kick, and that one's going to carry into the end zone for the automatic touchback. Once it goes into the end zone, it cannot be returned at the high school level, and now the Tornadoes get it at their own 20-yard line.
Chance to get this offense back to work, and again, you have to credit Sieben because Tornadoes overcame two long third and longs, two long situations, and they made a couple big pass plays to give themselves a chance to score on the last drive. And we'll see what they do here.
Well, and turnovers loom huge in a game like this because when you're going up and down the field, Champlin Park scored, Anoka's answered twice. Can they answer a third time here in the half? You know, in games like this, you cannot afford to turn it over. It becomes imperative to hang on to it. Sieben's been good. And it looks like Brody Rush is back there again. And they're going to swing it out. It is caught by Ban at the 21-yard line, and he is wrapped up almost immediately over there. Nice defensive play, staying home for Champlin Park. Leo Chroma, one of the linebackers, and they didn't give him a lot of room to run.
This is kind of a traditional play in the offense of the Tornadoes, that little wide receiver bubble screen where they try to throw it out quick to Caden Ban, try to get the other receivers to block and see if you get some room. That time, well read by the Rebels.
Yeah, and I believe it was Oghetto, not 44, but 14. Oghetto made the play, gain of 2 on the play. But it hasn't mattered. Anoka on that last drive had long conversions. Second down, third down, and a mile. They'll hand it off. Rush trying to break to the outside and does. 25-30, almost breaks out of there over the 35 and finally knocked down at the 37-yard line. Fine run by the running back, Brody Rush.
Rush's ability to turn on a dime is really impressive. Watch him hit this hole, and then all of a sudden, bam, it's not there, I'm going to go outside. It's really hard to do, right? It seems easy to do, but you got to have great vision, quick feet. You got to have the ability to do all that stuff. Not everybody does.
Sieben with time, airs it out down the middle of the field, overshoots Lackinen. Is there a flag?
Oh, that's a late flag on that. They're going to get a defensive PI, but that ball was over Lackinen's head after he was tackled. So the Rebels don't love this call, but it's going to be a break for the Tornadoes.
Good throw, but a little long. It is going to be pass interference, and all of a sudden that's going to put the Tornadoes in Rebel territory, down by a touchdown.
Yeah, they get that one on it. Looks like Sano. And take a look here at this one. As he had room, he did get a step. Ooh. And, yeah, that's a tough call. That's a tough call. I kind of agree. Lackinen had room, but that pass was overthrown.
First down for the Tornadoes. They move the sticks. And here we go again. Lackinen. I think that's Boyce off the right side. Boyce got a couple before he's wrapped up and driven down over there.
Yeah, Moses Boyce will, like you said earlier when we saw him, he'll get, 8 to 10 carries in a game. And like I said, last week, I thought that was his best. That was the best we'd seen him this season, where he really looked comfortable, especially when he got out in space, was able to make some plays, break some long runs.
Huge to be able to have another option back there. Sieben drops back. Has time, airs it out down the far sideline, a little pushing, a little shoving, but overshoots the intended receiver down there, and that's Schmaltz, I believe.
Yeah, running Trey Schmaltz out there that time, the junior, who can do a little bit of both, wide receiver and corner, step for step, that time not able to break away on the coverage from Sano.
And I'm glad there wasn't a call because there was a little
hand fighting. Those guys are going back and forth. And Schmaltz at no point had a step, right? He didn't have the advantage at any point on that route.
Yeah, and well overthrown. Of course, you always want to know where number 8 is, and he's over on the short side of the field or far side of the field. Third down, straight back. And now there's room for Sieben right up the middle. 40 cuts to the outside. 35, 30 still on his feet. Steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Another big run for Sieben, and he has been so dangerous with his feet tonight.
Well, this is what throwing a couple deep balls does for you. When you can complete some plays down the field, now everybody's got to respect that. So you play a little bit more safety help. You have a little more cover 2 looks. linebackers step back, and then there's room in the middle of the field.
They give him 20 on the dot. Sieben hangs on to it. He's in all sorts of trouble, and he is going to be thrown down back there. Quia grabbed hold and wouldn't let him go.
And that's kind of it exactly. Just grab him by the belt loops and just say, you're not going anywhere. Nice play there by the Rebels defense. Once again, sniffing that one out.
That's Oghetto as well there. Quio and Oghetto, kind of a tag team there. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, working well together.
Coming up, 4 to go in the quarter. That was a 20-yard run by Sieben to set it up. And then he goes for no gain there. And once again, the running back, his voice. Right behind the quarterback, Sieben, straight back. Airs it out, far corner of the end zone. Jump ball, caught, touchdown, Lackinen again.
They see something they like. They love these matchups on the outside with the receivers against the secondary of the Rebels. And this time, Sieben again sees Lackinen in single coverage and just says, I'm going to throw a jump ball to Brody, my tall 6'4 receiver. And it works out well again. Look at this. Another great high point by Brody.
Oh. And really good coverage by Sano. I mean, he was there. He did nothing wrong. It was just a perfect throw. And then Lackinen elevates, hauls it in, and now the Tornadoes an extra point away from tying this football game.
And when you can take the top off the defense with deep balls, it just opens up everything. And you saw the big Sieben 20-yard run. Again, that's all a result of getting the ball down the field in the passing game.
Youngquist on to try the extra point. Snap, spot, kick. Plenty of leg there. Good job by the holder for the Tornadoes. Caden Ban, the slot receiver. We are knotted up again at 21, 3:42 to go in the battle for the paddle. Back and forth we go.
Having fun already, aren't you, Steve?
Yeah, just a phenomenal ball game.
Great start for both teams. You can see the contrast of styles playing themselves out between Nick Keenan and Coach Bo Wasserich. Nick Keenan talked about it in the pregame that he wants to run the football to set up play action. Coach Bo's kind of doing the opposite, right? They're throwing the ball to set up the run.
Yeah, and I will say this about Sieben tonight. 5'10", 165-pound junior quarterback. Running the ball very well, making great decisions there. But he throws a beautiful ball. I mean, he put it in a spot a couple of times, maybe 3 times tonight, where Lakkinen's the only guy who can get it.
And I felt like he's overthrown Lackinen a bunch in the early part of the season. What you're seeing now is a quarterback looking like he's getting pretty comfortable and finding that chemistry with the receivers that I think Coach Bo talked about a little bit in the pregame. Finding that chemistry with these receivers is making a big difference. And now you see him looking Brody Lackinen's way a little bit more, when early in the season it was just, let me get it to Caden Ban on these dump-offs.
And we will see Gus Moran kick it off for the Anoka Tornadoes at the 40-yard line. Wind absolutely not a factor. It has turned into a gorgeous evening. It'll be absolutely perfect for football by the second half. Short kick taken at the 17-yard line. And trying to return it up the field for Champlin Park. Another pretty good return out to the 35, maybe the 37-yard line there was Eric Lukes. And Lukes does a nice job, and now we'll see what the Rebels can do. It doesn't seem that time on the clock matters. We have 3:35 to go in quarter number 2. These teams could score a couple more touchdowns.
Yeah, and the good news is, too, is the Rebels have all their timeouts. So they've got all the time in the world here.
So back and forth they go. Champlin Park scored first, went up 6-0. PAT no good. Anoka led at 7-6 after 1. We're now tied at 21. Nelson tries to get to the outside. Nothing doing. And a rare negative gain for Preston Nelson. He just had absolutely nowhere to go. Terrific job by that Anoka Tornado defense. They just strung it out. And I was really impressed by what they did there. They drove him back, and that's going to be a loss of 4. I don't know how many times this year Nelson's lost 4 yards on a run.
Yeah, it's good penetration up front by Ace Oyewole, and he was able to kind of push back that interior of the line and get those linebackers some room to run at Nelson.
So here's Felton with Nelson to his left. They're going to play action. Felton is going to throw it, and it's knocked away, and now it's going to be 3rd down and long. And the Tornadoes trying to get a stop here. So can And this is a big deal with just 2:51 to go in the half. Tornadoes get it back. They could grab the lead.
Sure, and with 2 timeouts, that's an eternity for them as well. So they see a real advantage here with the fact that the clock is stopped. At 3rd and long, you have to figure out what you want to do here if you're Champlin Park, because you're not as unpredictable in this situation. It's hard to just run the football on an option. You almost think you have to pass. But we'll see what the Tornadoes set up and play for here. They're going to set up in a bit more of a cover 2. 2 safety look and backing the receivers off.
Belton's going to roll out to the left. Left-handed quarterback sets up, throws off the hands of Axness at the 46-yard line. He had room to run, but an awkward throw for the lefty quarterback rolling to his right. And now it's 4th down, and the Rebels are going to kick it away and give it to the Tornadoes. He had him.
He did have him, but we talked about this when he did it before. When you run away from your kind of the opposite side, it's a little tougher to make that throw, especially in rhythm, and especially if you feel like your clock is speeding up a little bit. And that's what it kind of looked like for the quarterback this time with Miles Felton. Felton looked like he was kind of rushing that throw, and he didn't look as comfortable as he looks when they have the nice down and distances.
4th down and 14. They're going to punt it away. It is Fitzgerald. Caden Bann, Brock Sieben waiting for it. Short kick, side of the foot. And that takes a Tornadoes bounce, and the Rebels are going to pounce on it at the 44-yard line. And Anoka's going to have great field position, 2:33 to go, quarter number 2.
And 2 timeouts. So if you're Coach Bo, the whole playbook's at your disposal. You can run anything you want right here. You speed up the play anyway, but you're not going to abandon running games here. If you have a chance to get Brody Rush on the outside, you're going to do it. But they have been not shy about throwing the ball down the field, and you wonder if they'll do that again here.
So the Tornadoes get a stop, and can they capitalize? Once again, let it 7-6 after 1, and now trying to get points on the board here and have the lead after 2.
Champlin gets the ball to start the second half, too, so this would be a nice one to get for Anoka.
Sieben with Rush. And he's going to go right up the middle for a couple. Not much doing there. Good job by that Champlin Park defense, and coming out of the bottom of the pile, Brandon Finley. And it'll be a 2nd down. They're going to give him a couple. Good job by Rush, though, to just get a forward progress on that play. And now they swing it out to the right. Caught by Bann at the line of scrimmage over the 50. Steps out of bounds, setting up 3rd down and short.
Yeah, they got to do more of that, too. Use the sidelines, use the boundaries to their advantages so that you can keep those timeouts in your pocket for as long as you can.
Yeah, they do get it to the 48-yard line. And they still have work to do. 3rd down and 2. They need the Rebel 46-yard line. Clock stopped, 2:07 to go here in the quarter.
And that's kind of an interesting spot here for the Tornadoes, because you do want to get this 1st down, and that's the most important thing, but you also don't want an incomplete pass with the clock stopped here either.
Phenomenal job by our crew, led by Ryan Mush, on this warm October night. Week 6. Handoff right side, nothing doing. Great job on that Rebels defense. And coming over there and reading that was Leo Chroma, the linebacker, all over that play. Nowhere for Rush to go as he tried to cut it outside.
Yeah, Chroma is a junior linebacker, 190 pounds, 5'11", but he plays bigger than that and plays faster than that. And that time he just blew that up at the line of scrimmage. And clock's running. No timeout taken by Champlin Park, which I'm a little surprised about, to be really honest with you. I thought that they would maybe take this timeout and put some pressure on Anoka. They're going to let the Tornadoes run this down and let them think about it.
Yeah, and here's one of the things. In talk strategy here, Nick Keenan and his coaches are going to huddle up. Bo Osrick, his coaches and players are going to huddle up. Bo Osrick still has a lot of options at his disposal. And would it surprise you if he rolls out Sieben and goes up top to Lackinen again?
Wouldn't be surprised at it at all. And the one thing, too, is they have a punter who kind of does a little bit of the Aussie-style kicking, right? So he runs and punts, which sets you up for potential fake opportunities and does things like that. And that's what Coach Keenan, I'm sure, is talking about, saying, like, hey, we know that they don't like to punt when they get into this spot. They want to do everything they can to keep the ball. So let's keep our eyes on every possibility here. We'll see what Coach Bo wants to do, because one thing you don't want to do here is give up possession right. I would almost, for me, I'd almost rather just punt and send them down. But at the same time, my special teams hasn't been very good, so unless I punt out of bounds, I guess I don't know what we'll see what they think about.
Yeah, a lot of big decisions here. And if Anoka does go for it, they could run rush, just pick up the first down. They still have time.
There was a flag, but no flag there.
Yeah, that one would have really caught me by surprise.
Well, yeah, because referees just call penalties without throwing flags anymore. I'm just kidding. It's not quite that bad. But they sneak those flags in on us.
So here we go with Sieben. 5 yards deep. I think this is Boyce in the backfield now.
They got 12. I think they said they had too many on the. Yeah, they should have got the Tornadoes with 12 on the field here.
It is Boyce, the running back. And now we're going to get another timeout with 59 to go on 4th down and 2.
Interesting.
All right. And usually 12 come out of the huddle, they throw the flag.
Yeah,
once you line up.
You saw the player running off the field on the high side there. Darren Nyanyuki was running off the field on this play. So as soon as they saw that, the Rebels coaching staff was bouncing up and down trying to get a call that time. And I think at that point, maybe that's part of the reason Coach Bo just said, you know what, we're just going to can this because nothing is exactly as we set this up.
Yeah, now Kellen Brewer is going to come out to punt. He'll punt for the second time in the game. He punted on the Tornadoes' opening drive 3 hours ago. Kidding a little bit. 59 seconds to go, quarter number 2. It has been a very good ball game. 21-all, and it looks like the Tornadoes will punt, but they could snap to the up back. Will it go all the way back to Brewer, and he's going to kick it out of there. Aussie football style, and it's going to take a big bounce to the sideline, and now Champlin Park's going to get it. 51 seconds left and a full complement of timeouts. Let's see what Nick Keenan and company do.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they didn't take a timeout earlier in that they let the Tornadoes run as much clock off as they did. It's not a team that scores lightning fast. They like to be a little more methodical, although tonight you wouldn't know it with the way the Rebels have gone up and down the field. I like that play with Kellen Brewer punting, that kind of Aussie-style punter, because you notice when he runs, it's almost like he's got a read. Like if he saw something, you almost wonder if he could keep it and go. But the fact that he can run and kick like that, I think gives the Tornadoes some different options in the punting game.
So here we go. The Rebels, Felton, straight back. Quick slant. It is caught over the 30, out to the 32-yard line. Quick pitch and catch. Landon Olsen-Gray. They're going to stop the clock and move the sticks. So Champlin Park, got to be happy with that. Out to the 32-yard line.
I think they got too many men. They caught the Tornadoes mid-sub.
And they get it to Landon Olsen-Gray out at the 40-yard line. Time is the most important thing here at the 33, with 33 remaining.
The Tornadoes are trying to get too many guys on and off the field in these short situations. They have to know that the Rebels are going to go fast, that you're not going to have 25, 30 seconds to get guys on and off the field. So you've got to figure out what those substitution patterns are going to be early. But you saw people scrambling all the way up until the snapping of the ball. Easy to call for 12 men on the field, an illegal substitution on the Tornadoes.
And like I say, late in the half, this really hurts Champlin Park's cause more than anything. They'd rather have the time back.
Yeah, because exactly. This play had 8 seconds come off.
Yeah, and that's one of the things you could argue. It's like, wait a minute.
But you did run the play, and you did.
Yeah.
It's basically a free play because if you get the pick, or if something happens to you badly, at least you know you're going to keep the ball. So it's like a free play. But it's almost like when you catch him in that, you have to be able to take a big shot. All
right, I think they've got everything settled. I'm not sure everyone's satisfied, but...
Well, maybe not.
And now I think they're going to go over to Bo on the Anoka sideline.
I'm sure that's not a pleasant conversation to have with Coach. I'm sure Coach is going to argue, too, like, hey, don't we get an opportunity to make a sub? Although he looks pretty calm right now, so I think he knew what he saw. And you do have an opportunity to sub, but it's not indefinite.
So first down and 5, 37-yard line, 33 to go in the half. Felton dropping back, under pressure, rolls to his left. Is he going to get rid of it? No, he's going to step out of bounds.
Well, he did throw it, but it was it was 1-on-3 there, no chance to make the catch.
Yeah, out of bounds, second down.
Looking maybe for Dukley on the corner that time.
I thought maybe it stepped, and we might see on the replay out of bounds before he threw the ball. Doesn't matter.
It's another one, though, that runs off about 8 seconds, Steve. And so now if you're the Rebels, you start wondering, like, okay, do we just eat this? We don't want to risk a pick here. We don't want to do anything silly.
And here's the thing. When you have a running back like Preston Nelson, he can take any play to the house,
sure
as we've
can.
seen. And they're going to roll him out to the right. Nelson picks up a block in the end, buys a little time. It is caught on the edge by Olsen Gray. He'll step out of bounds out at the 44-yard line. And Nelson did a really good job on the edge block there, picking up that block, giving time to Felton to throw it out to the 44-yard line. 19 to go in the quarter. Clock stopped for the moment.
And they haven't had to use a timeout yet. They've used the boundary nicely, but they don't have a ton of time. So now they need a big chunk. You got to try to get 15 to 20 yards, but the whole field's at your disposal. You can throw it over the middle if you want.
21 all in the battle for the paddle. Rolling out left, Felton. He is a left-hander, and he's going to throw downfield, and it's going to be caught and out of bounds at the 43-yard line. That's a really nice play, and Dukley caught it and stepped out.
Yeah, that's a little bit too big of a cushion for Dukley. And again, plenty of time for the quarterback, Felton, as he just was able to roll out to the strong side and make a nice throw. And you can tell he looks so much more comfortable when they roll him out to that side.
Well, on that play, and you talk about what Preston Nelson has done tonight with 3 touchdowns to give him 11 on the year in this 21-all football game. He also does a nice job on the blocking side of things. If it's a pass play or the quarterback's rolling out, he's doing his work there as well.
And you can see the Rebels have been put into a position where they have to throw it a little more, so that pass protection's becoming even more vital. So his ability to step up and buy Felton that extra second or two could loom large here in the fact that the quarterback's having a chance to make some big plays and make some throws.
Got some big touchdown runs here in this football game. And now the Rebels, 12 seconds left, 2 timeouts remaining. So a couple of plays here, a couple of quick plays. And I don't know if Felton's going to take a shot, but they got trips to the right. Rebels don't line up with trips to the right very often. Felton goes back. Nelson stays into block. Felton rolls out, rolling to his right. Throws it downfield, a mile out of bounds. It hit the track in the air.
Yeah, and that was probably the worst thing that could have happened for Champlin Park. There was a long play. It took forever to develop, and you got nothing out of it. And now you only got 5 seconds left, and you're not in field goal range at all. So now it makes this pretty predictable. I think you got to throw the ball to the end zone.
Well, it will be second down with 5 to go in the quarter. 21 all.
And you can see the Tornadoes already anticipate that. Look at that. 3 guys playing way back. This is the equivalent of no doubles defense in baseball. You play them back on the warning track. They're anticipating a deep ball here.
You know, here's the thing, though. With a running back like Nelson, you could just do a little delay and give him, man, we got a stoppage.
I think Coach Bo might have taken his last time out for Champlin Park. Second time out, I should say, for Champlin Park. They wanted to look at that defense of Anoka, and they're going to maybe make an adjustment here.
What's scary about spreading it out like this, you give the ball to Nelson, and he starts running loose in the secondary. I don't know.
This is where you have those little hook and ladder gadget plays where if you get somebody running close to you, you might be able to ladle it around. There's a lot of things, but Champlin Park feels like a very meat and potatoes team. I wonder how many of these little gimmick or gadget plays they've come up with.
21 all, and the band, they have been waiting for a while.
Patiently.
They're chomping at the bit.
Hey, shout out to the marching band, too. They host the big marching band event out here tomorrow. All the marching bands in the area are going to be here for a little competition, and there's some great marching bands in the North Metro. So, folks, if you want to come see some of these bands work, I know it's going to be a hot day tomorrow, but You got to come out and see what some of these kids are doing. These bands are awesome, how hard they work.
Oh.
Give them some love.
A ton of work. I have a problem walking and chewing gum, let alone march and play an instrument.
I think you could do a snare drum, though. Don't you feel like you could do that? You could keep a beat.
I don't think so. 2nd down and 10, 5 to go in the quarter. Felton rolling out right, trying to buy time. He's going to air it out, throw it toward the end zone, tapped around. And it is intercepted in the end zone, and that'll be it.
I think that was Brody Lackinen.
Yeah, Brody Lackinen hauled it in. So he makes another catch, this time for an interception. And we are at halftime in the battle for the paddle. Anoka at Champlin Park. What a football game. Tied at 21, Tim. It's been a dandy.
That's pretty good so far. I'll tell you what, a lot of fun for the first half. Again, you got to give the credit where the credit's due offensively. Blake Siemens moving the ball beautifully through the air, but you see Champlin Park doing a great job on the ground. Both styles are getting what they want. It's been a fascinating game.
Yeah, we've had a ton of big plays, and the first turnover of the first half closed it out. Champlin Park 21 and Anoka 21. We'll take a break. Stick around. Quarter number 3 coming up here on QCTV.
Hello and welcome, QCTV sports fans, friends, and family. We have another episode of That Sports Show. I am That Sports Show host, That Ryan Mush Pierce. And in this episode of That Sports Show, we'll be looking at Andover, Champlin, and Anoka, and catching up with them at the mid-season point. We're already at the mid-season point of the fall sports season, and our teams have just been battling and battling and battling, not only the opponents, but the weather and the elements. So, without further ado, Andy, roll that intro. And now we have those Andover Huskies cross-country runners. They are about 2/3 of the way through the season, so we caught up with them to see how the season's been going and what they expect for the rest of the season. We talked to all 4 senior captains, and we started off with Marcus Larson. Hey, Marcus, tell us the down low.
This is one of the biggest groups we've had. We got 40 people, but the team bond couldn't be larger. Like everybody here knows each other. Everybody here is seemingly best friends, and that really goes a long way, especially in practices, especially in meets, because everybody's comfortable around each other. Everybody's not afraid to be themselves.
Yeah, I think it's weird to train with each other every day, and then you get to a race and there's some of your biggest competitors. I know for me, my group, we stick together in the race, and then it comes down to the last mile or so. And so just compete against each other and know each other's race styles it's fun to see everyone do differently in practice and races.
We have Bunker Park over there that has just a ton of hills and just a ton of grass that you can run on, so it just kind of simulates a cross-country course.
I think this year, knowing where I'm coming into the season, my time goal isn't necessarily as important of making sure the team's ready to carry on in future years, because we do have such a young team this year and a lot of very good athletes that I think will be great in the future. So seeing them building up confidence in their own running and confidence in our own team, I think is more important, making them know that they can do it, than me hitting a time goal this year. So my goal for this year is probably just to make sure that the other girls have the tools and skills they need to keep competing.
try to qualify for like a nationals this year. I feel like I can definitely get up there. And for team, I would say we're kind of, I feel like, good contenders for state this year, like in our section. It's going to be a battle against us in Duluth East, but I think we can definitely get up there and qualify for state as a team.
Now we're going to take a look at those Anoka Tornadoes. We have a couple game recaps for you coming up. We have Coon Rapids versus Anoka girls volleyball. Those highlights will be brought to you by Jim Childs. And we also have football, Osseo versus Anoka. What a nail-biter of a game that was. Those highlights are brought to you by Steve Thompson. Hey, Jim, take it away.
Wednesday nights on QCTV, it was Northwest Suburban volleyball as the Anoka Tornadoes 3-4 take on the Coon Rapids Cardinals. And in the first set, the Tornadoes came out swinging with Hayden Reeder dominating performance and a little help from her friends with Z. McLaughlin with the kill. Dominating, went through many streaks, a 5-point streak and a 7-point streak at one time for the Tornadoes. They end up taking the first set 25-11. They go to the second set. More good Tornado volleyball as they were able to keep Coon Rapids off pace as a good block at the net. Good net play tonight by the Tornadoes. And the young Cardinals really at times were just a little frustrated with where they were at. And Reeder, when they needed her, came through for their Tornadoes. Ended up taking the second set 25-9. In the third set, Coon Rapids began to put up some fight right there. A good serve by Adara Yang, and she had some good serves tonight, along with the rest of the Coon Rapids Cardinals. They were able to keep it close, but the Tornadoes came up late in the game with the winner 25-9 or 25-20. Coon Rapids in straight sets on QCTV.
Osseo at Anoka Goodrich Field tonight, and the Orioles grabbed the early lead. A touchdown run by Mikey Criswell, and then the Tornadoes came right back. Long touchdown run by quarterback Blake Sieben from 52 yards out, and Anoka hanging right in there, and then they would come right back. Touchdown run there by Brody Rush. And the Tornadoes led 19-14 at the half. On to the third quarter. Here's Sieben scrambling. Terrific run along the sideline before he got taken down inside the 40-yard line. And then Sieben again to the end zone. This would lead to an interference call, and the Tornadoes would keep the drive alive. On to the fourth. Seesaw battle. Back and forth they go. Sieben sacked for a huge loss. And then a fake punt pulled off here by Braylon Eidsvog set up the Orioles for a go-ahead touchdown. And another touchdown run for Mikey Criswell, his third of the night. Tornadoes weren't done. And a touchdown run there for Brody Rush, his second of the night. Back and forth these teams go. And then the Orioles would ultimately grab the lead. A reverse touchdown pass here to Johnson. Johnson would take it into the end zone. Zamir Johnson, a big catch. And the Orioles would hang on for a 29-25 victory tonight over the Anoka Tornadoes. They had their opportunities late, but couldn't cash in. Orioles win it here on QCTV.
And now we come up on those Champlin Park Rebels. This time we have football Centennial versus Champlin Park. Those highlights will also be brought to you by Jim Childs. We have soccer, Spring Lake Park versus Champlin Park, brought to you by Joe Ruland. Hey Andy, was that girls or boys? That is the girls game. There you go. We got the info straight from the booth. And then last, we're going to look at the Champlin Park girls tennis. We'll be catching up with head coach Brad Gullickson and some of their seniors to get their outlook on the season.
Two teams trying to go to 3-0 at Champlin Park High school football action Centennial. First play of the second quarter. Their quarterback, Belinsky Strauss, a 1-yard run, 7-0. Then their field goal kicker, 49-yarder with the win, mind you, but still, Justin Driver made it 10-0. Champlin Park trying to come back. Preston Nelson has been and was their main running back. They got down to the 1, but then lost some yardage. Forced to kick the field goal, Trace Fitzgerald from 21 yards out. It was 10-3 Centennial. And then a surprise play. They go to the air. And the running back, Coppersmith, out of the backfield. 24-yard pass play from Belinsky Strauss. 17-3 is the score at halftime in favor of Centennial. They come right back out. Another touchdown run by Belinsky Strauss. He had 3 on the night. And Champlin Park finally got on the board here. Their late possession. Nelson with a 25-yard run. Fitzgerald's kick was good. 31-10 ends up being the final. Centennial wins, and they stay undefeated as they go 3-0.
Monday Night Lights on QCTV. This was a classic. Spring Lake Park visiting Champlin Park, the Rebels. This was a pure keeper's clinic, but late in that first half, getting by, Sam Harbaugh finds a small margin and buries that shot back of the net, up 1-0. Beautiful saves continued throughout the night. Finally countering here on a double header. That's right, a double header. And Viv Smith collects her first of 2 goals on the night, and we're tied at 1-1. Both teams continuing to battle hard. Finally, a look here, down low, save and gobbled up. Yeah, save was made by Britt Gore. She's on her way to Colorado University next year to play soccer. Both of the keepers on these teams worthy of all-state honors. A backhand, there it is, a header from the back door. We're tied at 2-2 right after a good save, and now slipping it by Lee at the 39th minute to get it by Gorsh, and we're tied 2-2 at half. Both teams continue to challenge and battle at it, trying to find the gaps, chipped away. Now, late, another late shot, a clean save made by Gorsh as well. I said it was a keeper's classic, and it is. Both of them came out to play well tonight. Another good late shot, and there's Kresbach, the freshman, playing at a high level. Finally, this one slipped, lifted right over the top of the left foot by Lee, her second goal of the game, 13th of the season. That gives the Rebels a 3-2 lead they would not relinquish, following a beautiful save by Kresbach again. A good game followed up, and both teams find their way off to a 3-2 win in favor of the Rebels from Champlin Park High School.
Consistency is definitely something that's always strive for to be achieved, because it's really important in tennis. But also adding aggression is also really important.
In the past, we kind of just have been an aggressive attack type team, and we have, that's something that's really important to us. We've been trying to just make sure that we get all of our shots in, trying to be more consistent.
I have played since I was 7 years old, and I'm 55, so we're 48 years of playing tennis. Grew up in Fargo and played high school tennis and college tennis in North Dakota. I want them to get better at tennis by playing a lot of tennis and have a good time doing it. And I think, the more they have fun playing, the more likely they are to practice outside of our practices and get better.
So it definitely is like an individual sport. That's something I've really noticed. Like, you are on a team, but once you get out on the court, it is kind of just like a you for you thing.
Really focus on staying in the match, not like getting distracted in the matches around me or the people like walking by or talking to you or whatever. And really focusing on the next point and just like clearing your mind of whatever happened before that.
I do think something that helps is we always have like team group meetings right before games. We always talk over like what's our strategy, how are we going to attack this other opponent, what's our game plan, and that does kind of help like bring us together as a team, I would say.
Really want to just feel grooved and good. So when we're practicing, we're trying to hit a ton of tennis balls and put them in game-type situations.
My goals this season is definitely, obviously, to win. I hope to win as much matches as I can. Also, I want to get my serve stronger and add more pace to it, definitely.
Just expect a lot of close matches. We played 2 matches last Friday, and they were both 4-3. One of them we won, one of them we lost. So I think we're going to have a lot of really close competitive matches.
All right, and that is a wrap on this week's That Sports Show. On our next show, it will be wrapping up the fall season. Yes, it is going by so fast, and we'll be having section previews on that show, so watch out for that in a couple weeks. But until then, like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. It's That Sports Show.
Hi, my name is Rachel Bonesock. I am the co-founder and executive director of Northern Stars Center for the Performing Arts. We are a performing arts center that brings you theater, dance, and music year-round with all ages and all abilities. If you are 4 to 104, we welcome you. We are a big family at Northern Stars, and we love to have everybody in the community support and be a part of what we have available for everyone. We are always looking for volunteers. We run on volunteer support at Northern Stars. So if you're interested in volunteering for anything, any of our events that are upcoming, we do theater, dance, and music. And we have a large event center that we hire artists, professional artists to come in and entertain the community as well as our theater. We would love to have you join us. You can email me at Rachel@NorthernStars with a Z, Rachel@northernstars.org, or you can give us a call at 612-326-6158. Check out our website. We have a lot going on, northernstars.org. Thank you.
And we are back. Rebel Stadium at the half. The battle for the paddle. It's homecoming here for Champlin Park. And the Anoka Tornadoes and Champlin Park Rebels locked up in a dandy 21-all at the half. And here's some of the highlights. Preston Nelson goes 48 to the house there, just a dynamic run. And then keeping it and running into the end zone is Miles Felton, the quarterback. How about this ball fake there for the Anoka quarterback, Blake Sieben?
Yeah, and then
that's a two-pointer there.
That was a big one there for Champlin, and that just kept trading. As you can see, then Sieben goes up top to a great throw and catch from Brody Lackinen.
Just an absolutely wonderful catch in quarter number 2. And Sieben put the ball in a spot where only Lackinen could get to it. And that's a terrific throw.
There were a few plays like that in the half where he just let his receivers go up and high point the ball. The best example might have been the Brock Sieben catch on the 3rd and 18, which I think might still be one of the biggest plays of the half because they were 3rd and 18 and they were running the risk of maybe falling behind in this game. But they made a huge play. That big catch by Brock Sieben saved a drive. They kept it going. They scored 3 plays later.
So the half ended on a turnover, but turnovers were absolutely zero factor. And as this game goes on, they've been able to go generally up and down the field on each other. And I still feel like, and then you can see just the peak of the downtown Minneapolis skyline. They're showing off the new cameras.
Yeah, they got to do it.
Yeah, why not?
They look great, by the way. Nice job by everybody.
Yeah, great job by the crew getting set up in the heat today. It's turned out to be a gorgeous night for football here in early October. We could easily be wearing coats and hats and all of that. And there's one of our camera operators.
It's a new crew. I haven't met this crew member. We have some new crew members I haven't met yet either. So this is kind of fun to see. We've got a big crew out here tonight. Full house.
Yeah. And by the way, our coverage continues. We move into week 7 already next week. And then it's MEA week. So we've got the short week. And, of course, we have boys and girls soccer. We've got volleyball. We've got football. A lot going on this fall here on QCTV. But the matter at hand, Anoka, they're hungry for a win. They want to win. And Champlin Park, with the victory tonight, would clinch a winning record for the first time since they went all the way to Prep Bowl and got beat by Wayzata. So this is really a big spot for the Rebels to be able to get that win, clinch the winning season.
Yeah, they've had talent here. Like the last couple of years, they really liked their team. They had guys that they really liked, but they were just snake bit a little bit. They had injuries. They had suspensions. They just had things that happened at the wrong times. And they were in a lot of football games. They played a lot of good, close games and ended up losing some. Like Anoka was a great example. They lost 25-13 on opening day to Anoka last year, and that game was close with 5 to go. And then Anoka went on a long drive and put the game away, but that was a one-possession game, came out on the short end of it. They played a one-possession game with Blaine, came out on the short end of it. They had chances all season long, and they just kind of they weren't able to get the big play when they needed it.
Yeah, and here we are in week 6. The Tornadoes are 0-5, but they are playing hard, and you cannot argue with the effort, and that's one of the things Bo Osric did coming in and resurrecting Tornado football is these guys give max effort. Even in the early years when he took over and they were struggling, they would come out and play hard, and they really built something because they had a great year a year ago. A good run.
I talked to a lot of coaches in the area, and a lot of coaches, the one thing they always say about Coach Wasseric's teams and the Anoka team in general is that they get better as the season goes along. They don't get worse. They find ways to improve upon things, and offense improves. They become more dynamic. Different guys step up late in the season. You're seeing that here because we're seeing tonight Darren Nyanyuki getting some playing time. We're seeing Brock Sieben get some playing time. As guys get better, they're moving up in the depth chart, and they're getting opportunities, and that's an example of that here tonight.
So here we go. Half number 2 coming up, and the Anoka Tornadoes will kick it off, and the Rebels are going to get it back. And they scored first. Anoka answered, hit the extra point, and took a 7-6 lead after 1. And then the teams trade touchdowns in quarter number 2. So it has been a very even, wildly entertaining matchup and a huge crowd on hand for this annual rivalry between the Tornadoes and the Rebels. And kicking it off again is going to be Gus Moran, 2 players back deep for Champlin Park. And the kick returners, Dukley and Lukes, both have had good returns here in the half. They'll put it on the ground, try and keep it away. Hops over the head. It is finally grabbed at the 15-yard line. and it is going to be returned out to about the 25. And a tough return and a big hit. Torkey grabbed it, the up man, and he hung on to the ball. That's job one.
Yeah, good tackle there, too, by Justin DeShane as he was able to come up and make the play. I kind of like the idea of squibbing it. Kicking it deep hasn't really worked. You've given up some big returns, got gashed in special teams. I like the idea of changing things up, squibbing it down there, making the up man get it. Force the Rebels to do something they didn't really want to do.
Here's Felton with Nelson to his right. He had a monster first half. And he's going to take the handoff, tried the left side, and tripped up almost immediately. Nice play by the Tornadoes. Nelson didn't get much, but he is one of those guys where he'll get a couple, he'll get 3, get 5, and then all of a sudden can take it all the way.
Yeah, the big explosive touchdown run. And it speaks to that example. Tornadoes have to feel like, we've kind of held him in check. 4 or 5 yards here, 3 yards here, but then, bang, 60 yards, he's gone.
And he's had a monster year coming in. 753 yards in the first 5 games of the year. Averaging over 150 a game. Second down, 7 yards to go. Nelson again breaks a tackle, stumbles out to the 40-yard line, and you see the ball security there at the end of the run. As the Tornadoes tried to strip it, he didn't cough it up. He hasn't fumbled yet this year.
Yeah, we need a little more sure tackling there for the Tornadoes. Watch how many tackles Nelson breaks through. There's 1, there's 2. Now Lucas is finally able to wrap him up here at the end. 3 tackles he goes through. And Nelson's a strong physical runner. You can't arm tackle. You've got to wrap. You've got to get in front. If you're hoping to just kind of bang him to the ground with your shoulder pad, you will be sorely mistaken.
Felton, he's going to keep it. 45, 50, still on his feet. 40, 35, along the sideline. He could go. 5, touchdown. I think he stayed in bounds all the way. Miles Felton takes it to the house, and the Rebels have the lead back.
Tornadoes asleep at the wheel on the quarterback designed run. He just kept it the whole way, and there was just nothing but room, not even touched until right there, 30 yards down the field. One thing the Tornadoes got hit on last week was Mapson running like crazy out of the quarterback position on those designed runs to the outside, and that's exactly what Champlin Park does right there. It's a designed run the whole way for Felton. He doesn't even look Nelson's way on the option. It's totally his run, and Tornadoes were not ready for it.
Miller to hold. Fitzgerald, spot, kick, and drilled right down the middle, and the Rebels have a quick 28-21 lead. Just 1:21 into quarter number 1, and Nelson's been explosive. And how about Miles Felton? That's another touchdown for him, and that was really impressive.
Well, we talked about Nelson's breakaway speed. How about Felton's? It felt like he was running away from the corners and safeties of the Tornadoes, just like 8 steps faster than everybody on the defensive side for the Anoka Tornadoes. And an adjustment is needed as once again this defense is gashed in the running game, and they give up a quick score.
3 plays, 74 yards, 1:16 off the clock on that drive, 28-21. Champlin Park capped off by the Felton touchdown run.
And there's some really good defensive coaches on this Anoka Tornado team. Adam Denicky, defensive coordinator. He doesn't have any hair, but he'd be pulling it out if he did.
2 players back deep for Anoka. They're standing at about their 6-yard line, and Fitzgerald at times tonight has been able to put it into the end zone and get a couple of touchbacks so far in the game. And Fitzgerald is shown, as I mentioned, a good leg all year. Trace Fitzgerald, 5'7", 150 pounds. Just a junior, but he can put the leg into the football. High end over end kick. It'll be taken at the 10. Up the near sideline, 20, and falling forward out to the 30, maybe the 31-yard line. Nice return there by Braylon Yikkinen. And that's where the Tornadoes will start, and let's see how they answer. They've been able to do it all night.
That's true. They have. Braylon Yikkinen getting a lot more time as the kick return guy, but also getting more time at wide receiver for this Tornado team. Just as the year has progressed, another one of these guys that has found some ways to get on the field and make plays for this Tornado team. And you're right, this offense has to keep going. Got to keep their foot on the gas.
Lackinen split to the near side. He has had a monster game for the Tornadoes. Brody Rush is a running back. He's been spelled at times by Moses Boyce. And they're going to hand it off. Rush, quick hitter for a few right up the gut on that Rebels defense. It'll be a second down there.
And so Anoka likes to work fast, but you almost want to work slow. It might be a reversal. You might see Anoka try to slow things down on this possession, try to see if they can go on a long, methodical drive.
Second down and 7 for the Tornadoes in their own territory. Wind not a factor all night. Rush stumbled in the backfield, took the handoff, fell forward to the 35-yard line. He certainly has that knack to be able to do that. Purnell in on the hit for Champlin Park, one of the big guys up front. That'll set up 3rd down and 5. But it hasn't mattered for the Tornadoes tonight. They have been able to convert 3rd and long.
Yeah, this is for them. This is easy. This is 3rd down and short for them in comparison to what they've had. Rush looked like he might have tripped over Sieben as he ran through that pile.
But he still finds a way to get positive yardage. He's had that knack. Trips to the right. Sieben throws it near side. Lackinen 1st down. Has someone hanging onto his leg as he drags him all the way out to the 46-yard line. Lackinen all alone on the left. He caught it and got the chains moved.
It's a good matchup for Brody Lackinen against Eric Lukes. He's got about maybe 6 inches of height, maybe more than that. That time, Lackinen ran a great route.
And they're going to run a wide receiver screen over to that right side, and that's positive yardage for the Tornadoes. And Brock Sieben with the catch. So older brother to younger brother again here tonight. And they move it into Rebels territory, and they'll have it at the 47-yard line.
Boy, they kind of like having this freshman wide receiver doing the things he's doing tonight. This has been a lot of fun for Anoka.
It'll be 2nd down, and on that 2nd down play, Rush right up the gut. Quick hitter there, very near a 1st down. I think they're going to give it to him. And they do, down to the Rebels' 43-yard line. So they're moving it comfortably. Second 1st down on the drive that started at the 30-yard line. Sieben has done a nice job. The juniors played really well. Trips to the left, straight back. Sieben has time, now rolling left. The right-handed quarterback still buying time, now moves forward, steps through about 3 would-be tacklers and gets it all the way down to the 35-yard line. That was a slippery run.
Yeah, just keeping the play alive. It looked like he wanted to go down the field badly, and he was just trying to buy an extra second here, an extra second there, and then finally was like, I just got to tuck this away and get what I can. Ended up getting 8 yards on this play.
That is a nifty run. Look at this. He just kept it alive, looking for someone downfield, and then just kind of slides in between all those guys. Rebels coach is frustrated. Sieben's going to swing it out to the right, caught, and tackled immediately. And that, once again, is Brock Sieben, the 9th grader, but he was able to get it forward, very near a 1st down, and indeed a 1st down at the 32-yard line.
That's too big of a cushion right there by the defense. That tackle came up and was made by Mario Robinson, but you're giving way too much room to Brock Sieben on the high side.
2 wide receivers to the left. In the slot, it's Ban wearing number 1, and he's a terrific slot receiver. And now Sieben drops back into the pistol, and the running back is Boyce. Boyce gets the call into the line of scrimmage, and he is tackled forward for a couple, and he is tackled forward there by Brandon Finley for the Rebels.
One improvement that I think you've seen out of Moses Boyce is his ability to get a little lower in his pads. He was running a little tall, I thought, early in the season, but now you're starting to see him kind of get a little lower and get behind the guards and tackles, and that's been allowing him to kind of fall forward, and he's not getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage.
So Anoka on another good drive that started at their own 30-yard line, and we are 3.5 minutes into this drive, and they continue their march as they try and tie it up. They had a 7-6 lead after 1:21 all after 3. Sieben rolling left, throws it downfield, almost picked off. Oh, great opportunity for an interception down there for the Rebels. Nick Keenan. And Keenan almost came up with a huge turnover.
Trying to go to Derek Harris, get a little bit of a different look this time, and they like to roll Sieben out, and he looks comfortable usually, but this throw was way too late, and it was to nobody in particular. We'd almost been better off eating it or throwing it away.
They're down and 8. You see the ball there right at the 30-yard line. Anoka's been able to answer all night. Can they do it again here midway through the third? Sieben sends a player in motion. That is Rush. He's going to just run the draw, and he has room. He's at the 20, on his feet, 15, breaks to the outside. Still on his feet at the 10, finally forced out inside the 10-yard line. Another terrific run by the quarterback, Sieben.
And once again, this is all set up because of your ability to move the ball down the field in the passing game. The linebackers have to drop back in coverage, and when you do, it's open in the middle.
And they come right back at it, and Rush maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. He may have got forward progress. By the way, the Sieben run 20 yards to the 10-yard line. Moment ago.
Sieben has been a real factor on the ground tonight. He's probably got upwards around 60 yards. You'd have to think, Steve. He's had a couple of big runs.
And really some nice throws. I mean, he has just had a beautiful game. By the way, they're going to actually put it at the 11-yard line. It looks like a first and goal. I don't see anything.
I would have thought it would have been a first and goal, but maybe not.
Second down and goal, play action. Sieben under duress, moves to his left, into the end zone. Jump ball, caught again! Touchdown! Ban! And the Tornadoes are again an extra point away from tying the game. Great throw, even better catch by Ban.
Caden Ban once again high pointing. These receivers are doing such a good job tonight of high pointing these jump balls. Not really a jump ball here. This is a good route by Ban, but you got to out jump this corner for the ball, and he does it. Perfect timing as you get another look at it. This is good coverage by Nick Keenan. Keenan jumps at a good time, but Ban just wins the battle to the high point.
And he hauls it in and hangs on to it. And now on to try the extra point, Youngquist. Ban on the hold. And Youngquist bangs it through, and we are tied again. 21-all at the half, now 28-all with 5:57 to go. And I'm impressed. Lakinen's made some spectacular catches. And that one by Ban a moment ago is as good as it gets.
Yeah, we've seen some good stuff tonight from this wide receiving crew. Between Brock Sieben making some big clutch plays when he's needed to, and you've seen Lakinen go up and make some big plays. Now you see Caden Ban doing what he does. Been really good stuff tonight from this receiving core of the Anoka Tornadoes. And again, a reversal of what we normally see. Champlin Park likes to hold the ball and go 5-6 minutes on drives. They score quickly, and it's Anoka with the 5-minute drive to kind of keep things moving in this quarter. So it's been a fascinating game. Both sides almost feel like they're ready to throw their playbooks out the window and just do what the other team's doing.
Well, and once again, when Keenan had the opportunity at the pick along the near sideline, you felt like that could have been a huge moment in this game. Didn't come up with the interception. Anoka ultimately gets a game-tying touchdown. And once again, I'll use it again. You know, any turnovers are going to be a gigantic swing in this game.
Or big penalties at key times.
Yeah,
One thing the Tornadoes didn't do that drive, they didn't commit a penalty. That was a huge moment there for them because, boy, if there's been a thing that's been holding them back this year, it's been offensive penalties. Not that time. Good job by the O-line. Good job by everybody.
And it's going to be Gus Moran to kick it off again, and he puts it on the ground. Short kick, grabbed at the 33-yard line and falling to the field. And I think a wise decision there by Reyes Quia, Jr., And that's what you want to do. If you're one of the up guys, I think they teach them all. It's just cover up that ball and go down. And don't try and be a hero.
I'm here for this if I'm Anoka, by the way. I will trade this 35-yard line start every time because you're not getting beat downfield and getting gashed in the kick coverage game. So this is working out much, much better for Anoka. We'll see if their defense can hold.
All right, Felton had a touchdown run to give the Rebels a brief lead at 28-21. He'll take the snap. They're going to try the end around, and it gets a few, and I think that's Fitzgerald wearing number 5. So Fitzgerald gets a few on first down from the 35 out to the 39-yard line. It'll be second down and 6.
Yeah, it's nice coverage right there coming up and making the play that time. Looked like Brewer, number 4, playing in that safety position.
O-line for the Rebels, Cooper, McNamara, Yang the center, Finlayson, and Tucker out at the tackle spot. Really been impressed by Miles Felton and how he's run the ball. Fitzgerald goes in motion, and that's going to be a little screen pass. I think it's a lateral. He breaks a tackle, gets it over the 40. Put it on the ground. He put it on the ground. He lost the handle, trying to get extra yardage, and the Tornadoes come up with it. huge turnover.
Huge turnover, and it's happening in the zone of the Champlin Park Rebels. This play was a little bit behind from the jump. Not a great pass.
I think it was a lateral.
Might have been a lateral.
We may see it in our replay.
But it was a high throw, and it kind of threw off the timing. And as Fitzgerald tried to kind of reset himself, I don't know if he was able to secure the ball. And let's take a look at this. Yeah, you're right.
I think that's a lateral.
I think you're right. It is.
So he breaks the one tackle there and then trying to get through, and it is just flat out punched out by the Tornadoes' Cooper Boylan.
And you see him holding it like a loaf of bread. I mean, that thing was away from his body. It's an easy punch out.
Sieben rolling right, buying time near the sideline, and is just going to pump it well out of bounds. Second down and 10 yards to go. Wise decision there, nothing there. But now can the Tornadoes take that turnover and grab the lead? They were up 7-6 after one, haven't led since.
Well, you got what you kind of were talking about, Steve. You get this turnover in a critical spot. This is the chance for Anoka that you mentioned. If you can go and get up by a touchdown, you kind of reverse the momentum in this game, and now you put the pressure back on the Rebels.
Saw Leo Chroma a moment ago. He's had a big game, been involved in a lot of tackles. Two to the left, over to the right. Lackinen, plenty of time. Sieben scrambles to his right, under pressure near the sideline. And then he almost hit a receiver right along the sideline. And I think that was Brody Rush standing there. Couldn't come up with a third down and 10.
I'm surprised we didn't run the ball here these last couple possessions if I'm the Tornadoes. You know, Rush is there. He's been able to make some plays. Get yourself to a second and short or a third and short. Instead, they run two pass plays to start this possession. And that play just took an ice age to develop. Just took forever. And it just felt like nobody was moving with urgency to get open.
Ban in the slot to the left. Two to the right, including Brock Sieben and Brody Lackinen. Straight back. Sieben under pressure. He's going to get wrapped up and sacked. Willa Gunty wrapped him up, and now it's going to be fourth down and long. So the Rebels defense responds after the turnover.
Yeah, you get pressure here. They're going to decide to bring, I think, an extra man this time, do the Rebels, knowing that this is a passing down. You've taken the unpredictability out of your offense, and so you bring pressure on the outside with the Gunty. You also bring number 99 on that one, Jalen Purnell, and they were able to get home.
Loss at 10 on the play, fourth down and 20 for the Tornadoes. So the Rebels cough it up. And then they answer 3 and out for the Tornadoes. And we got the Australian rules punt, and it's blocked. Gunty was there. He just got in the way, and now the Rebels are going to pounce on it, and they're going to have a short field at the Tornado 40-yard line. What a turn of events.
I think that was just way too long for Brewer. You got to kick that thing way earlier than that. He ran up into the pile, and he didn't give himself any room to punt this. He's got to punt it right there.
Gunty just got in his way.
He literally ran like an extra 8 yards. He should have punted that at the 35-yard line. Instead, he runs 5 yards further to try to buy himself a little more time. But when you do that, you're running into the coverage team. You can't do that. You got to give yourself room as a punter. That's why we stand so far back. It's crazy to me why you would do that.
Yeah, and a golden opportunity for the Tornadoes now goes the wrong way, and now the Rebels, with 4:04 to go in the third, get it back in a short field. This is going to be Nelson right side. Delay on his feet. 10-yard gain down to the 30. They're going to move the sticks. And Nelson just that little stutter step, cut back and picks up a quick 10.
Just a baffling 2 minutes from the Anoka Tornadoes right there. And now you get Nelson running on a short field where you can do whatever you want offensively. If you're the Rebels, the whole playbook's at your disposal. This is a good thing here for Champlin Park.
They give him 11 to the 29-yard line. First down and 10 for Champlin Park. Dukley goes way out to the left. And we got a false start. First of the game, and on that false start, Oleg Mueller, one of the tight ends, so kind of playing an H-back spot. He had a big play in the first half, but that didn't help the cause.
No, they did that little look back, the quarterback and the running back did, and Oleg Mueller clearly didn't see or didn't hear what the count was. And, yeah, he ended up jumping a little early, sets up a first and long.
Rebels trying to go to 5-1. Tornadoes looking for their first win. And, of course, it's a battle for the paddle. Here's Felton right side, surges his way, gets the 5 yards back to the 29-yard line, where it will be a second down.
Tell you what, this Tornadoes team might be the toughest 0-5 team you've ever seen.
Oh.
Every team is in a battle whenever they play Anoka in these games, and it can't be very enjoyable.
Yeah, warm night, very pleasant now. I still think it's warm for the football players, but for the spectators here, and a huge crowd on both sides of Rebel Stadium. Felton looks to the sideline, Nelson to his left. Play action, Felton buying a little time on the run, being chased, and he's just going to dump that out of bounds. He was chased all the way over there. Keaton Maros was on his tail. 3rd down and 10.
Another good pursuit there from the junior. Able to get out and challenge Felton, force him to get rid of that ball. Nobody got open. Nobody broke off their route, and that's one thing you want to think about if you're a receiver for Champlin Park. If you see the quarterback running out and being chased, somebody's got to break off. Somebody's got to come back to the ball, do something so that you can help your quarterback out.
28 all, moving late 3rd quarter here on homecoming night at Champlin Park. Player goes in motion right to left. Straight back. Felton sets up the screen, and it is off the hands of Preston Nelson. They had the screen set up, and he just overshot him. Now 4th down and 10.
Nelson wanted to maybe run before he had the ball. You saw his head turn upfield that time. Didn't quite have possession of the ball, and now sets up a 4th and long. And I will say, this is definitely a gettable ball here for Champlin Park, but these are not the down and distances that you love to be in your offense.
So 4th down and 10, 29-yard line. Can the Tornadoes come up with a stop after the block punt? And the fumble, then a block punt, and now 4th down and 10. Long count, play clock down to 5. He gets it off. Felton rolling left. He's going to run it all the way. Has Nelson out in front blocking. He isn't going to get anywhere near that. Got about 5 to the 24-yard line. Tornadoes hold. They'll get it back.
Good job by the Tornadoes to rally to the football. Good job by the up front, by the D-line of the Tornadoes, putting and forcing Felton to roll out. And in forcing him to roll out, there were just no options for Felton downfield. Secondary for the Tornadoes comes back, rallies to the football nicely, and they get a big stop. And that's a huge stop for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, this has been quite a sequence. They trade touchdowns, then fumble, punt, turnover on downs, and here we are. Anoka, can they take advantage?
Just when you think you got all the answers, Steve, they change the questions.
Yeah, it is amazing how that goes. Great night for Blake Sieben, the junior quarterback. He'll take the snap, and he'll hand it off. Brody Rush on his feet, falls forward for maybe 5 yards, maybe 6 out to the 31.
See, I don't know enough about football to challenge anybody, but I would have thought on that last possession, you should have ran the ball on 1st down, get Rush going a little bit. I know you like to be creative, but sometimes you just got to go with what works.
Sieben out to the left, being chased. He's going to get jacked back at the 20-yard line. Oh, he got run down by Damon Torkey. And Sieben just once again held onto it a little too long. And Torkey, the big play. And the defense is starting to step up.
Yeah, Torkey puts great pressure on here. And again, this is going to take longer to develop for Sieben because he's throwing against his body. And when you do that, it just takes more time, more mechanics, more everything. And when you're the linebacker, Torkey, you can see that. And you know you've got the extra second to put the heat on the quarterback. That time they get the big sack.
3rd down and 15, ball at the 20-yard line. Blake Sieben, the quarterback. Rush, the running back. Rolls to his right. He probably got a hold there. We don't see a flag. Sieben under pressure. Almost picked off. Oh, an opportunity there. I think it might have been Willa Gunty. Could have picked it at about the 22-yard line.
That was a lollipop right in his hands. And can't believe that he didn't come up with this, because this is 6 to the house all day if he makes this play. And you can see he's absolutely sick about it.
Ogunti's going to be thinking about that all weekend.
That might wake him up in the middle of the night. I mean,
so. Wow. And just a dream for a guy who plays up front.
Oh, I know. You see that. It just looks as big as a house in front of you, like a beach ball. All you got to do is catch it.
Well, and there could have been a hold on that scramble.
Probably should have been a hold.
A Rebel defender got hauled down from behind, so the Tornadoes got a big break there.
Yeah, the offense these last two series for the Tornadoes has it's stopped functioning here. We've kind of hit a little bit of a stagnation period. They have got to regroup and get back to what was working, and that's what Coach Bo certainly will be thinking about and talking about, certainly on headset with Trey Delamarter.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
What a huge call.
Man, 12 men on the field to start like this?
12 after all of that.
For a loss of down.
So, and there easily could have been a hold call.
There
so a huge break.
That's unbelievable to me.
Huge break for the Tornadoes. Could have been a hold. Instead, too many men on the field for the Rebels. First down and 10 Anoka. Sieben goes to work. Empty backfield. Trips to the right, two to the left. Sieben steps up, throws, caught Ban for an 8-yard gain. And boy, he extended for that, knew he was going to get hit.
Yeah, that's one of those hospital balls you worry about right there. That one came over the middle, and you saw him just stick his hands out and Velcro hands that thing, and then immediately went down.
You talked about it earlier in the game. He is fearless, and he is a prototypical slot guy. He knows going over the middle he's going to get hit, and he does it time and time again. And that throw, he had to extend to grab it. Beautiful catch by Ban. Second down and 1. A lot of options for the Tornadoes. Two to the right, running back rush. Sieben's going to keep it. He gets wrapped up. Still falls forward, maybe to the line of scrimmage. I think it's going to be third and very short.
Very short. I think they might have gave him half a yard on forward progress there, and a lot of that was just because 55 pushes him. Well, first of all, he's holding, too. So Andrew Kriz is holding, and then he decides to push the defender in to Sieben, which maybe picks up a half yard.
Yeah, so it is going to be third down and 1. Still options for the Tornadoes here.
Literally and figuratively, Andrew Kriz has had his hands full tonight on that on that line edge, because they're coming after him. That's the end of the third.
3 in the books. We were tied at 21 at the half. We're now tied at 28 after 3. Don't go away. We got a dandy in the battle for the paddle tonight. Champlin Park and Anoka here on QCTV. Friday night. Let's get into that third quarter highlights. Sieben airs it out. Great catch. Lackinen just goes up high. Terrific. And then what a run here by the quarterback, Miles Felton, for Champlin Park as he takes it all the way to the house. That was just an absolutely outstanding run.
And now you see the high point to Caden Ban at the end of those highlights. Anoka gets a first down run right here for Brody Rush as he's going to pick up that extra yard that they needed to start this fourth quarter.
Gets it out to the 46-yard line. So, Anoka with that opportunity in a tie game early in the fourth. They have the ball, and let's see what they can do with it. Boyce in the backfield. All right, that is Rush. And that's thrown out of bounds. Over Ban's head. A rare errant throw for the quarterback, Blake Sieben.
You almost wonder, though, if he thought there was going to be a route run on the high side with Lackinen. Like maybe he thought Brody was going to turn back around, and Brody was like, I'm running a little deep dig here. But maybe some miscommunication. Quarterback, I think, just took 3 steps and threw it to a spot thinking somebody would be there, but he overthrows Ban and everybody in particular.
Second down and 10 for the Anoka Tornadoes in white. They're in the road. Sieben straight back. Facing pressure, flushed out to the left. Throws it, and it is caught. And it is caught. And was that Ban who went up for it?
I believe it was. Caden Ban.
Wow, what a catch. Ban took punishment.
Man, Caden Ban, is just one tough hombre, my friends. I mean, you cannot say enough good things about that kid's toughness. He knows he's going to get hammered here, and he absolutely does with an exposed rib cage. Dangerous ball from Sieben, but great job by Caden Band. Look at that shot. Goodness gracious.
Gain of 11, went up, brings it in.
Clean hit from Nick Keenan, too. Really good hit by Keenan.
Toss sweep left side, rush inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Pretty good gain. I think they'll take that on first down as we hit the 11-minute mark remaining in the game.
There are no free nights here in 6A football. Rogers leading Andover by a touchdown as we get into the fourth quarter tonight.
Andover ranked 9, tied with Champlin Park coming into the night tonight, as we saw. That was a gain of 4 to the 39-yard line. Second down and 6 for the Anoka Tornadoes.
28-21 Rogers last checked.
Yeah, funny game. Teams trade touchdowns. Fumble, punt, turnover on downs. Right up the middle. Here's room. Rush on his feet. 20. Still on his feet. Dives to the 15-yard line. What a run by Brody Rush. And now the Tornadoes knocking on the door.
Rebels have been doing a good job here in the last quarter and a half of kind of bottling up Brody Rush, not letting him get out into the open space. But this time, Rush just overpowers the linebackers and secondary for Champlin Park and gets a big gain for the Tornadoes.
28 goes for 24, and with 10:08 to go. And now he'll get a spell. Moses Boyce is the running back behind the quarterback, Blake Sieben. Trips to the left. They're stacked up. Sieben looks that way. Wide receiver wide open on the bubble screen, and he is tackled almost immediately. That is Brock Sieben, but he still gets positive yardage.
It's like they forget about Brock Sieben. He's been over there wide open like 4 times tonight.
And he gets it to the 7-yard line. Gain of 8 on the play. Second down and 2. Here's Rush to the outside. Spun around. Goes back the other way, and he's going to lose ground. Probably not the wisest decision, as he's going to lose yardage. And a really nice play by Damon Twerke to finally wrap him up and throw him down.
I think maybe that's Coach Bo telling Brody Rush that right there. Like, hey, just take that upfield and fall forward. We'll take third down and short. Don't run backwards and lose yards. That's not what you want to do.
Well, and he dropped 5 on the play, and that is a rarity for Brody Rush. We talked about it all night. Even if he's hit at the line of scrimmage, he finds a way to get a yard or 2 anyway.
Yeah, but when you start running backwards and trying to reverse, you're not Deion Sanders. Let's not get carried away here.
Third down and 7 at the 12. They can get a first and goal at the 5. Sieben throws it to the end zone. It is caught, tight roping and stepping out of bounds. Nice catch over there. Schmaltz, he was targeted once earlier in the game. He hauls in a big one. And is that going to be enough for a first and goal?
I believe it is. And that's the other thing. They can sneak in a Trey Schmaltz catch for you every now and again as well. And you have to guard Lackinen. You got to guard Sieben. You got to guard Ban. And then all of a sudden, here's Trey Schmaltz running.
Gain of 9 on the play. Schmaltz the grab. The running back in there is Boyce. The quarterback is Sieben. He's looking for a play. Lackinen near side. Ban in the slot to the right.
5 on the play clock. Got to go. Timeout.
And they're going to take a timeout. 8:45 to go in the fourth. First and goal for the Tornadoes at the 3-yard line. 28 all. Huge spot, obvious.
This is a big spot. That's why Coach Bo wanted to take this timeout and get it right. He, normally likes to look and see things. That's why those players look back. You see them do that often. Coach Bo is always like a last check with me kind of thing. Clearly didn't like what he saw, wanted to change the play. Take a look at the schedule coming up for the Tornadoes. I'll be there for the Pumpkin Bowl next week, Steve. Rogers taking on the Anoka Tornadoes in the Pumpkin Bowl, and then they finish the year at a very good Centennial
team. They'll be out in Lionel Lakes, and that is a tough place to play. Great setting at Centennial. Champlin Park, they get the long road trip to Lakeville North, and fans leave early.
That's what I would say.
That's a drive.
You may want to take the day off.
And then they close it out on MEA with a home game against the Odyssey Orioles right here at Rebel Stadium.
Yeah, those dates are a little off. October 15th would be that one. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for QCTV, Steve. Girls soccer, Shakopee and Champlin. We're going to do some swimming and diving and over in Anoka at the pool. Are you going to do that one?
Yeah, I'll be at the pool for that one and really look forward to it. And then we got some volleyball action.
Yeah, I'm at the Blaine Anoka one on the 7th as well. And then, of course, Champlin Park, very good against Andover.
Rebels, another good volleyball team. First and goal, 3-yard line. Tornadoes looking to take the lead. The running back, Boyce, to the left to the quarterback, Sieben. He's going to tuck it under his arm, get to the goal line. Into the end zone, touchdown, and the Tornadoes lead it 34-28 with 8:40 to go in the fourth.
That's a good timeout by Coach Bo. You saw them change the formation. They moved Boyce to the flank, kind of went on the left-hand side of Sieben and almost became a blocker or at least a decoy, like they might run toss or might run an option that way, and instead it's a keeper for Sieben the whole way, and he runs it in.
Noah Youngquist on to try the extra point. As the Tornadoes grab the lead, snap spot, left-handed or left-footed kick is through. Youngquist has done a nice job, and the Tornadoes have the lead 35-28. They led it 7-6 early. This is their first lead since then.
Another update coming up from that Rogers-Andover game, 31-21 Rogers late in that game in the fourth quarter. So upset brewing potentially up in Andover.
Yeah, and we had an upset brewing down in Eden Prairie. Moorhead on the road at Eden Prairie. The Spuds moved up to 6A this year. And they had a 1-point lead late in the fourth quarter in that one. I haven't seen a final yet.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on all of that stuff. We got our local spotter checking all the scores in the area tonight, sending them over to us. We appreciate that.
By the way, for the Tornadoes, 13-play, 75-yard drive. Started with 2:26 to go in quarter number 3. We're at 8:40 to go here in the fourth. So a long, grinding drive for the Tornadoes, and they're up by 7.
That big penalty, really the difference. Huge. You got to look at that as the key play to the drive, no doubt about it.
And in reality on that play, when you look at the replay at QCTV.org or YouTube.com/QCTV, you'll see a hold that they missed on that
no
play.
question about it. Yeah, that thing could
That
have
was
been a pick
tackle.
6. That could have been a whole bunch of them. I mean, what a reversal of fortune that was, no doubt about it.
Huge moment in the game. Tornadoes got the benefit, and now they'll kick it off. Moran puts it on the ground, grabbed at the 35 by one of the up backs, and they'll take it out to the 42-yard line. So they have certainly changed the strategy there and taking it up there. And that was Isaac Axness, the tight end, out there, and he did a good job. They have not been able to target Axness tonight.
Yeah, he's been the guy that you've been kind of waiting for, right? Yeah. And we just haven't seen any big plays from him. Key there for Moran, if you're going to squib it, though, you can't squib it right into the lap of somebody. You got to let that thing get a bounce on the turf. So you got to find an opening to squib that into some kind of open vacancy so you can get that weird bounce and maybe get a fumble.
How can the Rebels answer? Player goes in motion. Felton, the quarterback. They're going to hand it off to Nelson. He staggers his way out to the 48-yard line. Good solid gain on first down. That is going to be 6 for sure. It's 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, this is clearly Preston Nelson time. No doubt about it. I think you want to jump on that horse for a few plays.
Yeah, still plenty of time in the game. Champlin Park 3 timeouts. Anoka burned a timeout. They're down to 2, but they have the lead. 2nd down and 4. Rebels at the 48-yard line. Felton waits for the snap. He's going to hand Nelson left side. He got wrapped up and driven back, and that play was made by Cooper Boylan. He kind of just stacked everything up and waited for help.
Yeah, Cooper Boylan does a great job getting started. Cole Borchers comes in and finishes it off, and that's rallying to the football. That's what you want to see more of by this defense. Also give some love in there to number 42 coming up making a play, Matthew Johnson. A lot of juniors on this defense. They all kind of step forward and make a play there. Sets up a critical 3rd down.
It is 3rd down and 5 for the Rebels at their 47-yard line. 7:24 to go in the game. They certainly do not want to give it back to the Tornadoes at this moment. Felton waiting for the snap. And he's going to keep it to the 50, and he's going to come up about 2 yards short. They kind of faked Nelson. He went left. Tornadoes really didn't bite. And now it's 4th down and 2 yards to go.
This is a pretty critical spot here because you got to think. I'm guessing that Champlin's going to go for this here. I don't believe punting is in the cards. I think they're going to go, obviously. So that sets up a huge play right here for this Tornado defense.
And a great job on that play by Matthew Johnson to kind of break things up and wait for help for the Tornadoes. 4th down and 2. Felton with Nelson in the backfield. Monster spot in the game. They pitch it out. Nelson has room. 45, 40, and finally goes down at the 38-yard line. So they run option near side. Nelson converts the 1st down and more.
They like running option in these short yardage situations, and this is a great example of it. Again, running back and quarterback could keep the ball there, but their first key was getting that ball out of the quarterback's hands and getting it into the hands of Nelson, but really well timed by Champlin Park. Felton makes the right decision. Nelson gets the 1st down.
Well over 100 yards again for Preston Nelson. 13 on that play. They move the sticks. Coming up on 6 to go in the game. Nelson right side. Cuts it back. Still on his feet inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. You called it earlier. They're going to give it to number 1 quite a bit.
That time they run again off that strong right side of that offensive line. Good work there.
2nd down, 2 yards to go. Ball right at the 29-yard line.
They reestablished that line of scrimmage like 4 yards down the field on that side. Pretty easy for Nelson to get some run.
2 wide receivers split out. Dukley and Olson Gray. Dukley at the bottom of your screen.
False
and
start
that's going to
there.
be a false start. And the Rebels early in the year did a lot of that. That's their 2nd tonight, but it comes in a big spot as they're trying to get a tying score.
Yeah, a few of these little mistakes that have kind of hurt Champlin Park in this 3rd and 4th quarter. You know, Coach Keenan mentioned at the start of the game they haven't turned it over in 4 games. Tonight they put it on the ground. They had a turnover on downs. They've had a couple penalties that have taken them out of 2nd and short and put them at 2nd and long. Changes the game when you get into these situations.
1st down, 27-yard line. The ball sits at the 34 at the moment. Felton with Nelson in the backfield. Felton, keeper all the way, tries to break it to the outside, cuts it back. He is stood up and driven back at the 32-yard line. Nice reaction by that Tornado defense. They had a lot of hats around the ball.
Yeah, that might have been Maros, and we got a Tornado down right there as that's number 10. That's Devin Lucas. Lucas is going to get up and hobble. That's good to see, though, because at least he can get off, walk on his own power. Lucas is a key guy on this team, a senior captain. Last year had played through a pretty aggressive shoulder injury for most of the season.
It's going to be 3rd down and 4. And we're all of a sudden at 4:59 to go here in the 4th quarter.
See the jersey out there for the Anoka student section. Good crowd tonight.
It is getting late. Tornadoes lead it. They're going to run an option right side. Felton's going to cut it back on his feet. Gets his way down to the 22-yard line. He only needed the 27, and that was a good read. He keeps it and moves his sticks.
Yeah, that's Felton. And again, this time they wanted to be ready for the pitch to Nelson, but Felton sees that, and then he has room to keep it himself. And again, when you have 2 really good runners that run option really well, and you don't make a lot of mistakes doing that, boy, that can be really difficult to stop.
Gain of 8 on the play, 23-yard line. See the clock on the move. 2 wide receivers come to the near side. Otherwise, they're loaded up to protect Felton. Play action. Felton is going to step up. He breaks out of there, has some running room at the 15, still on his feet, pulled down at the 10-yard line. No flags on the play. He was finally dragged down by Jason Schopp.
Yeah, Jason Schopp comes up and saves potentially a touchdown right there. And again, play action is there, but it immediately collapses. Good pursuit by the Tornadoes. Good coverage downfield. But again, Felton's so quick, so elusive. He's able to make something out of nothing, gets a big 1st down, and now it's 1st and not quite goal to go.
Ball at the 10-yard line. Felton along with Nelson in the backfield. They're going to hand it off. Nelson, a little cutback, still on his feet, driving to the goal line. Touchdown, Rebels. He just would not be denied, and he hauls it in from 10 yards out. And we're a point after from a tie game.
Once again, the defense not not great there. The tackling, they fought right through it again. Look at the arm tackle, and they just are not able to bring him down. Nelson fights through that broken tackle, that one as well. And he's just such a strong runner. You have got to be even stronger defensively.
Extra point is good. Fitzgerald hammers it through, and we are tied at 35 with 3:35 to go. And gutsy drive by the Rebels.
Sure was. Nice job by Champlin Park to answer right there. And now it's an interesting thing because 3:35 is plenty of time. Here's the Tornadoes. They've been driven on a couple times this season to lose games. They've got an opportunity here to make the drive themselves and see if they can come out of here a winner tonight.
0-5 at the moment. They've had their opportunities. Can they seal the deal? Champlin Park 4-1. This would seal their first winning season since 2018, where they went 10-2 and were the 6A runner-up to the Wayzata Trojans.
Maple Grove gets a win over St. Michael Albertville tonight, 34-21.
Number one will stay in that spot for another week for sure. And now Fitzgerald to kick it off. Two players back deep. Let's see what the kickoff strategy is here. Timeouts, Champlin Park 3, Anoka 2, 3:35 to go. Fitzgerald to the ball. High, end over end, floating on a breeze that's picked up a bit at the 6. And well covered by the Champlin Park Rebels. They really strung that play out. Nice job pursuing Landon Olsen-Gray, who's all over the field tonight.
Yeah, Derek Harris is a quick guy, and he was definitely looking for a little bit of a seam on the outside, but the Rebels didn't give it to him. And again, great coverage by that special teams of Champlin Park. You mentioned Olsen-Gray coming in to make the big play and knock Derek Harris out of bounds. So you got plenty of time. 2 timeouts, clock stops at every first down. So if you're Anoka, you have your full playbook here. You just need to run your 2-minute offense or your 3-minute offense and see if you can't get a score.
You know it's going to be windy all weekend, and that wind is definitely picked up, and the Tornadoes are going into it. Rush trying that right side. Barely got back to the line of scrimmage before he was wrapped up by Jalen Purnell. And now it's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Tornadoes with 3:13 to go in the game. And once again, the wind has picked up dramatically, and the Tornadoes are fighting it.
Yeah, it was limp here coming out of the second half. That flag wasn't moving, and now it is. It's not quite straight up. I mean, it's not a gust or anything, but there's definitely more than there was 25, 30 minutes ago.
Brock Sieben is the quarterback. Brody Rush, the running back. Play action. He'll drop back. He's going to air it out. And this is going to be intercepted, easy intercepted at midfield for Champlin Park. And a long return here at the 15, at the 10, down to the 3-yard line on that interception. Eric Lukes. That was just a jump ball.
You have to think there might have been a bit of a miscommunication right there from Sieben and the wide receiver, because the receiver turns back around at midfield thinking he's going to turn back for the ball, and Blake Sieben airs it out. And, I mean, the nearest guy is Lukes, and he's 20 yards beyond the receiver. He's the only guy there. Take another look at this again as Sieben steps back. He's got all day, but watch the receiver break off his route. Lackinen stops running, turns back. Sieben overthrows him by 20 yards.
Yeah, and that one, into the wind. I don't know if it was a factor on that. What it turns into is a Luke's return to the 4-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal for Champlin Park right there, and what a turn of events. And as we said, turnovers. Nelson, he is stacked up and driven back. Great job by that Tornado defense in a big spot with their backs against the wall. And Max Langer, he came up huge. Good penetration off the ball.
And this is just where my grandmother, rest her soul, would just step up and say, bless your heart. This Tornado team is just having the season. I don't even know how to describe it. I mean, it's just been the most unbelievable season where it's just, I haven't seen a team be as snake bit as I've seen this team be this season, where it just seems like anything that can go wrong has gone wrong and will go wrong, especially late in games.
Fitzgerald certainly has a leg. I mean, this is basically an extra point. Anoka's got to burn a timeout here with 1:45 to go in the game. They're down to one timeout. And Champlin Park on the flip side here, they certainly don't want to give the ball back to the Tornadoes. Now, they would have taken a Nelson touchdown a moment ago. Don't get me wrong. But now, clock's on your side. You got the ball, the wind at your back.
What basically could be an extra point for a kicker if you want to just kick a field goal, try to run the clock down here. I don't think they'll do that, obviously. I think if you have a chance to get a touchdown, you do it. But it does speak to the fact that the ball's in your court now if you're Nick Keenan. You can play this any way you want. And if you're the Tornadoes, you just have to figure out a way to play defense, maybe get a tip ball, maybe get a pick, get a fumble, get something. Maybe there's a big penalty that gets taken, something. But Anoka's got to bow up here and play hard in these next couple of minutes.
Yeah, so they're back on the field already. Rebels talking it over. Job one for Champlin Park. Protect the ball.
No question about it.
And you got Nelson set up to the right of the quarterback, Felton. Two wide receivers near side. H-back in motion. Nelson up the gut. Big surge. Scrum. Goal line. Touchdown, Champlin Park. And the Rebels have the lead back 41-35 with 1:39 to go in the game.
That's, again, just all Preston Nelson up the middle. Watch the power that he runs with, again, jumping behind the H-back and also getting behind that guard and just burrowing his way into the end zone.
Nelson, another monster game.
Final Rogers does beat, hang on, and beats Andover tonight. And a wild game there as well.
Snap, spot, kick, and it is good. Fitzgerald makes it 42-35. When you look at the wild games the Tornadoes have played this year, and I think you hit the nail on the head, Tim. They just have to feel absolutely snake bit. They played well enough a week ago to win offensively. They came up short. Now they're down by 7. The good news is they have time.
They do have time. And, you know, Blake Sieben, it's really unfortunate because I think Blake has played a terrific game tonight. And that was the worst pass of the night at the worst time. I mean, it's just the way it goes. But he has played so well for this Anoka Tornadoes team and given them a lot of chances tonight. It's just it's just been one of them years, man. I mean, what more can you say? But, yeah, you're right. You have a chance here, and you can score quickly. That's the one thing Anoka's got in their pocket that always makes them dangerous is that they can score quickly. And so that's got to be something you think about here if you're Champlin Park. You can't go on autopilot. You have got to play the really good kick coverage here, and then you got to step up and play some good defense and finish this game off. 4 minutes to go. It's not over yet. It is, I'm sorry, I misspoke. It is still 31-27. Rogers ahead, 4 minutes to go in that game. It was not final. I do apologize.
Well, Preston Nelson, the monster night. And now to kick it off, Fitzgerald. And with the wind at his back, it's going to go all the way into the end zone and beyond. So you can tell the breeze has picked up as he was able to pound that one for the touchback.
Yeah, pretty effortless kick there, deep into the end zone. Getting more scores coming in. Centennial shuts out Roseville 36-0. Oh, 34-31, just as I say it. Andover in front, 34-31 on Rogers, as that game is down to a couple of minutes left. Crazy. Wild night of football, Steve Thompson.
Yeah, just absolutely incredible. Nelson with 4 touchdowns tonight, the other 2 for Felton. And now here come the Tornadoes.
Preston Nelson leading a cheer on the sidelines, wanting the crowd to get into it here for Champlin Park.
Blake Sieben's had a whale of a game. Boy, he has had a couple of weeks. You look at his numbers. Straight back, Sieben, quarterback draw. He's got some room, gets hit, goes down after a gain of about 10. He just got shoved down in the middle of the field by Leo Chroma. And they're going to move the sticks, and that works. They gain a quick 10. Out to the 30-yard line.
And stops the clock temporarily as they reset those chains, and that's exactly what Anoka wants to do. They're going to run a fast 2-minute offense.
Sieben's going to escape again, step out of bounds after a gain of 6, maybe 7 yards over there. He goes down hard. He maybe wanted a little extracurricular, didn't get it.
Yeah, I don't think there was any attempt to throw anybody down. People might have slipped there a little bit, but I don't think the Rebels did anything extracurricular on that sideline, but it does stop the clock. $1:16 to go. A nice gain for Sieben.
We'll call it a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Trips to the right side. Once again, Tornadoes working into a breeze that kind of came out of nowhere. Sieben, another quarterback draw. Room up the middle of the field at the 50. Staggers inside the 45. Falls down at the 44-yard line. 1:07 on the clock as they move the sticks. Another big gainer there. We'll call it 18.
Got a Rebel player down right there at the other side. Is that 99 is what we think that is? Let me see if we can get a look at that. That might be Jalen Purnell. Yeah, Jalen Purnell right there. And he might be cramping. That's the cramping look, isn't it? I mean, when you sit up like that. And again, it's a warm night.
That is a universal sign.
Yeah, I think it is. It's almost like they should have some signage out there for that. Like, that is the cramp look. As you can see, he's getting up, walking it off. Might have got a little Charlie horse there.
That's never good.
My alma mater gets a win tonight, 9-7. The Coon Rapids Cardinals beat
over
Cottage Grove.
I think that was on the road, too.
Yeah,
they made the drive to Cottage Grove.
Look at that.
1:06 to go in the game. Rebels lead at 42-35. Tornadoes driving. This drive started at their own 20-yard line after a big kickoff by Fitzgerald turned into a touchback.
3 quarterback draws in a row, Steve. Let's see what they do here.
4 wide receivers to the left. Sieben again is going to run out of there. He's at the 35, still on his feet, falls backwards to the 29-yard line. Another huge gain on the play. We'll call it 15.
They're clearly seeing something that is allowing Sieben to make these runs. He's taking a 3-step drop, so you have to respect the pass. Timeout taken by Champlin Park as they clearly want to talk this over. There's clearly something Sieben sees on the 3-step drop that once he sees it, he's just like, oh, there it is. There's my key. I know I can go. And he's able to get big chunks every single time.
I wonder how many times in the history of high school football has a team in 2 weeks in a row played games that combined for over 200 points, because we're there. A week ago it was 123, and we're closing in. If the Tornadoes get a game-tying touchdown, we're there. We're at over 200 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you haven't called this many points in 2 weeks. This is a lot for you.
And I don't know if we've ever seen it. I mean, someone would have to look it up, but that's insane.
It
2
is
weeks
wild.
in a row.
And it has just been shootouts here the Tornadoes have been in. And Champlin Park just trying to hang on here, but they have got a tiger by the tail. And it's going to be a fight to the finish with 48 seconds to go. Let's see if they make Sieben stay in the pocket and throw a pass here.
Yeah, we're at 200 points on the dot. 123 a week ago, 77 today. Sieben rolling out, under pressure, avoids a sack, gets it away, throws it toward the end zone, jump ball, picked off at the 2-yard line. Stepping in front of Lackinen is who else? Eric Lukes, his second of the night, and that should do it.
Eric Lackinen, or not Eric Lackinen, that's his dad. Brody Lackinen saw the deep ball, and I think he wanted to be in the end zone. We got a flag. Oh, we got a hold, maybe a call. Oh, they're going to come back. Let's see what they're going to call here. They call holding on the defense. Wow, are you kidding me?
It'll be a first down for the Tornadoes, and Anoka is still alive here in the battle for the paddle.
Brody Lackinen looked like he misjudged the throw. As you take a look here, he's in the end zone waiting for this deep ball. This is going to be short. Into the wind, this thing gets knocked down. Brody looks like he's a little late to come back for it, and you can see he doesn't make the high point win with Lukes, but again, they call a penalty. And of course, that's got Nick Keenan and the Champlin Park Rebel fan base a little upset.
So it takes it to the 19-yard line. First down and 10 for Anoka with 39 to go. And on that replay, I didn't necessarily see the hold.
I don't know if they called it there. Maybe it was away from the play.
Yeah, could have been.
But that's an interesting one right here. And once again, obviously the Champlin Park faithful using some colorful words to describe the referee's calls here. What I would say is, again, you're an adult. Let's be a little better at the games. Let's clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, the 22 wide camera, maybe someday.
Maybe.
But a great job by our crew tonight, led by Ryan Mush. And once again, it was a hot one. They did a great job setting up for the game and terrific shots of the game here tonight.
That should be something we tap into. We should have a little aux cord that we can get into, because these teams set up the 22 cameras on the each end zone. We should talk to them about that.
Big spot, first down and 10, 39 seconds to go. Tornadoes need a touchdown to tie. They set up the middle screen. It's almost picked off.
Oh, my goodness.
The ball game there. Owen Schornstein got his hands on it and couldn't haul it in.
Boy, Schornstein is sitting there going, are you kidding me? That's another lollipop. And, boy, I'll tell you what, Sieben has thrown a couple of errant balls here in his last 3. He needs to settle back into that rhythm that he had early in the game when he just couldn't miss. Now he's having a hard time finding a guy.
Second down and 10, 19-yard line. Tornadoes into the wind. That started to pick up. They're going to hand it off. Rush trying to bounce to the outside. Nothing doing. He gets thrown down on the edge. Leo Chroma's had a night. And a big play there. 27 seconds to go. Did he get thrown out of bounds?
It looks like he did get thrown out of bounds there at the end. And again, if his knee stayed in bounds, then they'll keep the clock running. But clearly the referee on top of the play thought that Rush got to the boundary. So they stopped the clock, 27 to go. It's now third down, I do believe.
Third down and 11, 20-yard line, 27 seconds to go. Straight back, Sieben to the far sideline, and it is caught. Lackinen, another tightrope act over there, keeps his feet in bounds. He's a big receiver. That's terrific. And is that going to give the Tornadoes a first and goal?
I think
Very
it
close.
does. This is using the boundary to your advantage. Just throw it out to the white line and let your tall receiver go get it. That's a good throw, good catch. Really good catch by Brody Lackinen to kind of hold the toes on the line and just reach over and get it. Nice play.
First and goal from the 9-yard line. 21 seconds remaining. Tornadoes down by 7. Sieben is going to run left. He's going to cut it back at the 5. Get hit. Maybe back at the 7-yard line. I thought he got a little bit further forward, but he got absolutely decked. And now the Tornadoes need to burn a timeout with 14 seconds to go in the game.
And that's going to be it for timeouts. So now you got to make some pretty good decisions because you can't get another first down to stop the clock. So now everything you do here, I think, has to be to the end zone, Steve. I don't think you can take the risk of getting stopped short of the end zone because I don't know if you have enough time to get back and snap the ball.
So he gets to the 6, timeout. Rebels out of timeout. I still see one on the board for the Tornadoes. With 14 seconds to go. And if the board is accurate, then that helps the Tornado cause. Because with 14 seconds and a timeout, we got an injured player down there on the goal line.
Yeah, so that's going to be Jordan Porter, the junior defensive lineman. And again, end of the game, is this a cramp too?
Yeah,
you kind of look the way they're stretching. You you just get that vibe that here come those end of game cramps with the heat and all that stuff. It seems to be a thing for Champlin Park. I think the heat is something that bothers this team because they're so physical. And they're in the trenches, and they run a lot of plays. And games like this where just guys are on the field a long time, and they play a lot of plays. You just open yourself up to things like this at the end. And it feels like Champlin Park gets hit by this quite a bit on some of these hot games.
And he is up.
And he is hobbling pretty good here.
Yeah, he's going to have to come out of there.
That's kind of looking like you and me in the middle of the night when we get those calf cramps when we're trying to sleep. Those things could wake you out of a coma.
I just get cramps trying to climb out of bed.
Yeah.
So here we go. Really, at this point, down doesn't matter.
No.
They're at the 6, and there's 14 seconds left. Whether it's second down, really a moot point. And now, once again, I still show one timeout on the board for the Tornadoes.
I thought I saw
some options.
I see Anoka still has one. It's weird. Did they give one to the Rebels there? Because I thought they were out of timeouts. But you're right. We'll see if they update the board because my count thought they had.
Yeah, I thought both were out.
But maybe the injury made that an injury timeout for Champlin Park. I'm not really sure how that works. But I thought, I could have swore. But we'll see.
All right, Sieben with Rush to his left. Lackinen over on the left. He's made some terrific catches. Ban in the slot. You can see him in the screen to your right. Sieben drops back. Rolls to his left. Caught and dropped. Into the hands and out. Wyatt Buxton.
Wyatt Buxton, bless your heart, man. That's a ball that's in your hands. Good throw by Sieben. And this was a touchdown, no doubt about it.
Good job by the O-line buying time. Buxton.
Oh, man. Those are so tough, man. That is so tough to watch there. Good job by Wyatt. He's played so well. He's been such a good blocker. He's not getting as many looks in the passing game, and that was a great opportunity.
Third down at the 7. 8 seconds to go. Can the Tornadoes score here? Sieben off to the left. Into the hands and out. A big hit. Oh, they're going to call a personal foul on Leo Chroma. The huge hit on Rush. And they're going to say it's a personal foul, giving the Tornadoes the ball.
And could that be helmet to helmet? Is that what they might have called right there at the end? It was a big stick, but it might be a helmet to helmet or something on a defenseless receiver. They're going to take a look. Let's see if we can see it up top here as Rush slides in motion, makes a great catch, and that's a boy. There's
I mean,
nothing
that's just
there.
a football play.
There's nothing there. I'm sorry.
The officials are going to huddle up, and I think the Rebels fans have a beef.
They're calling it contact to a defenseless receiver, and I disagree. I just disagree with that call because the defense has a right to make a play on a guy going to the end zone, as you can see right here.
So Rush has his hands out. Chroma's just trying to make a football play and didn't hit him in the helmet. So now 3 seconds to go.
You have a right to break up a pass, and so that's where I just don't like. Again, there's no helmet-to-helmet contact. I just disagree with that call completely, especially in that moment.
Ball at the 3-yard line. Rush in the back. All right, should say Boylan and Rush.
And
I
take
should
a
say
timeout.
Boyce and Rush in the backfield. They're going to use their final timeout, so both teams are out of timeout. So for the first time in the game, we see Brody Rush and Moises Boyce and Blake Sieben in the backfield.
And you know, I am never going to be critical of referees because I know they've got the hardest job in this, and it's just really hard to make bang calls in these moments. No doubt about it.
Time.
It is. And it's really easy in slow-mo for us to see that. Yep. No question about it. And I know what it looked like. It looked like a hard hit in real time. You have to, go with what you see. But gosh, in that moment, you gotta let that play out. I'd like to see them hold on to their flag in that moment. So
yeah, because Rush clearly extended for the ball, and then in that situation, Leo Chroma was just trying to break it up and got nowhere near the helmet.
That was just a good shoulder into the chest to try to break up a pass, and that's what they're taught to do. It's what you're coached to do. So that's going to be one that the crew will look back on again, no doubt about it, and they'll say, yeah, we absolutely missed that call. And the Tornadoes get another chance at this here.
42-35 Rebels. 3 seconds to go in the battle for the paddle here at Rebels Stadium.
One play for the game.
Sieben, the quarterback. Boyce and Rush. Sieben under pressure. He's going to scramble. He'll get to the end zone. Touchdown, Anoka. And they're an extra point away from tying the game with no time on the clock.
And I'll tell you what, that's huge. Champlin Park fans not thrilled, obviously, as Sieben was able to run for this touchdown, just break the plane, and now, again, extra points haven't been guarantees for the Tornadoes this season. They have missed their fair share, so this is a critical spot still. And so I think Coach Bo's going to obviously kick the extra point, although Sieben is walking back out there. Will they show 2 points and go for the win? I still think they're going to kick this extra point.
Noah Youngquist, it would be into the wind, and once again, the wind has picked up considerably. Quiet through 3,
they
but
might
it's
be
picked
going
up
for
here into the
this.
4th.
Coach Bo, he might be riverboat gambling this thing.
And it looks like he's going to set up and go for 2.
He's going to riverboat gamble here at the end. I love the call by Coach Bo. Let's see if it turns out.
Sieben for 2 in the win. rush in the backfield. Sieben straight back, has time to the end zone, incomplete. The intended receiver, Yikinen, and the Rebels hang on and win it 42-41.
Heck of a football game, and again, the Tornadoes play their tails off, and they lose on the last play of the football game, which I think has happened 4 times already this season. But you know what? I love going for it right there if I'm Coach Bo. I'm 0-5. I don't want to go play overtime against Champlin Park. I like that they took that chance to go for the win right there. It just didn't work out, but that's a call that I'm going to support 100 times out of 100 from Coach Bo. Good win for Champlin Park. Good, hard-fought one. But, again, another fun football game here tonight.
Wow, the Tornadoes fall to 0-6. They go home, and they take on Rogers next Friday night. You'll see it here on QCTV. Finish on the road at Centennial. Meanwhile, Champlin Park, the long road trip down to Lakeville North. It's almost Iowa. And then they return to close it out on a Wednesday night against Osseo here at Rebel Stadium. Well, the battle for the paddle, and there it is, goes to Champlin Park this year. And they win a wild one, to say the very least, 42-41. Anoka had won 2 in a row in the series. Champlin Park gets the paddle back.
I'm going to tell you what, Anoka, they might be the most entertaining 0-6 team you'll ever see because, man, every game is fun. Every game comes down to the end. They have played some really tough football, and I'm telling you, I don't think teams want to play this team going forward. This is the scariest 0-6 team you'll ever go against.
And on the flip side for the Rebels, Preston Nelson, another monster night.
Yep.
He's rapidly closing in on 1,000 yards. His touchdown total jumps to 12. Miles Felton, a huge night tonight, through the air and on the ground, 2 touchdowns running. And the Rebels find a way, 42-41. And once again, I'll go back to that number. A week ago, losing to Andover, the final 62-61, then lose to the Rebels 42-41.
It's incredible.
Over 200 points combined in 2 games, and you lose both games by a point.
It's unbelievable.
Think about, I mean,
it's just crazy.
I'm not going out on a limb. That has never happened.
Yeah, and you and I have been watching games for a long time. We've never seen anything like that. It's just been the wildest 2 weeks you've ever seen. And I'll tell you what, you got to tip your hat to Champlin Park and what Nick Keenan's done. This is a young team. They graduated a lot of guys last year too, but what they've got in the backfield with Nelson and Felton, it's a formidable force. It's going to be really tough to deal with because obviously this isn't a game they were comfortable playing in the high 40s like this, but this is a confidence-building win for Champlin Park because you won a game in the 40s, and you had some adversity. You had some calls go against you. You had some turnovers, and you had to fight through it against a team that wanted it really badly tonight. So I think you got to say a lot of good things about Champlin Park.
Yeah, and they got a lot of young guys. Landon Olson-Gray is a senior, big contributor here tonight. But Dukley, a sophomore, Fitzgerald, a kicker, an outstanding kicker. He's got a big leg. Once he got a little breeze at his back, there were no doubt touchbacks. And you're right. That combination of Felton and Nelson was very special tonight. But
and they're just juniors. I mean, that's what's crazy about that, huh?
Yeah, and then, of course, you got Blake Sieben, a junior quarterback for the Anoka Tornadoes. He was dynamic and throwing around to his brother, Brock Sieben. They'll get another year together next year. But 2 to go for the Tornadoes, 2 to go for Champlin Park. And a huge tip of the cap here on homecoming to our crew, once again led by Ryan Mush. Great job setting up on a hot day. The pictures, the replays, are top-notch.
Absolutely. Fantastic night. Let's make sure we get a ticket to do this one next year because, boy, these seem like they're going to be fun games, don't they?
Wow, what a night. It's a shame anybody had to lose, but the Rebels take down the Tornadoes right at the end. 2-point try comes up short. Champlin Park wins at 42-41. With my play-by-play partner, Tim Anderson, I'm Steve Thompson. Have a great night.
Good job, Steve.